Craig.
Craig!
Hi, Craig!
Let's hope you're actually recording first time this time.
Gosh, I love the little like.
that was so funny. I was like, I don't want to get rid of it because that was a good spot, but at the same time, there's nothing that happens there. Oh, let's do that one.
Really funny.
I didn't realize we had so many like video problems last round, but anyway,
Yeah.
it worked out okay.
Hopefully Emmett will stop barking so that we don't have that.
Yeah,
background
it
noise
might
for
help
you.
if I jump on the computer instead of on my phone still. I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, it's alright. Still sounds good.
All right, let's load up that intro music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Beyond our sky, past the countless stars and stones, far outside the ever-expanding border of our universe, there is a wall of dark, rippling fog. We are about to travel beyond that wall to a world where magic has not been forgotten and the horizons have not yet been tamed. Tyrileth, where dragons soar and heroes are forged into legends. Heroes like the group of intrepid adventurers known as the Emerald Wing. When we last saw our heroes, they had traveled from Bexlode much of the way to Gate, stopping in Morley, where they found themselves drawn into a mystery at the monastery of His Blessed Flagon, a cloister for monks in the service of Fo-Wei, the god of alcohol, laughter, revelry, and joy. Over 100 bottles of Black Dram, the incredibly rare and valuable whiskey distilled by the monks once every Raven's Night, had gone missing from a locked-observed room beneath the nose of the abbot, a dwarf named Janssen Barleymalt. With the assistance of Bronwyn Adelis, an investigator, and her brawny barbarian companion, Sorith Kazvad, our heroes dug their way to the truth. An infestation of rum gremlins had taken up on the monastery's grounds, having most likely stowed away in the luggage of a retiring sea captain from the south. Rum gremlins reproduce quickly, and in greater numbers they become exponentially more dangerous, gaining intelligence and magical abilities along the way. They fled and holed up in the monastery's disused, sealed old brewery, the building where dark things had occurred some 20 years earlier. With the permission of the abbot, the Emerald Wing and their new friends broke into the building, feeling its atmosphere of ill omen, passing through deadly traps to battle a large group of rum gremlins, and the creatures they summoned up to assist them. After slaying the last of the nasty little creatures, our heroes found the mummified body of Older Hain, a monk of the Blessed Flagon who had been corrupted by some foul influence and led to kill some of his fellow servants of Fo-Wei. When Tamati, Rin, and Jisu examined the body, some manner of dark energy burst from it, destroying the corpse and flinging the three throughout Morley, where Jisu faced the manipulative, catastrophic dragon Zerafal once again, and received a card from his trickster god Jinseo. Rin communed with her mistress, the Raven Queen, and Tamati met with Fo-Wei, who saw something noble and worthy within them. Their task completed, those left in the old brewery gathered up 76 surviving bottles of whiskey from the 100 lost, and, tired and sore, set to return to the monastery to seek their reward.
Woo!
And that is where we will begin.
So we're still spread out throughout Morley, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, is the cemetery closer
Mouse and
to?
Zafine, before we get to
sure.
Sorry, Mouse and Zafine and Sameas, along with Sorith and Bronwyn, can tell that something has changed within the old brewery. It no longer bears the sense of darkness and discomfort that it did when you first entered. It feels as though what you've done here has purified the grounds. Perhaps the monks will not have to build a new brewery after all.
Sweet.
So what did we see them disappear?
Yeah, so you guys still saw us disappear, but like the feeling of dread and everything else in the room is gone. Or feeling of darkness, whatever.
Yeah.
Eve.
We all went poof, and then all the bad feelings went away.
Like you were sacrificed or something.
Just a blood
It just
sacrifice.
required a blood sacrifice.
Mouse says that aloud. Bronwyn's. That's one explanation. Yes.
Oh dear.
Somebody just turns and asks, "How small was your farm?" Or your town, or
Where did you say you were from?
We need to avoid that as much as possible. I'm still brewing down in the basement.
Okay.
Yeah, you're already at the Blessed Flagon.
Yeah.
We all need to catch up with you.
oh, I wonder if there's any good brew in that.
There's lots of good brew.
Yeah, but like the cauldron that Fo Wei was making, I wonder if that's special at all.
Ooh.
It's true. Can I look around and see if there's any empty casks anywhere close by?
Yeah. There are a few sitting around.
Okay.
Yeah. That
It's like something like, smallish.
yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to be sitting here just stirring the pot, thinking about it for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe till everybody comes and gets me. I don't know. Let's see if anybody thinks to look in the basement for me.
You go through the process of completing the brew. Wei had already done a good chunk of the process by the time you arrived.
Yeah.
But you are able to cool it down, and you prepare some yeast to be added to it, and you get it all set up and beginning the process of the fermentation.
Sweet. Sweet.
Yes, the cemetery is outside the city limits of Morlaix. It is it's not that far away, but it is out. There's a road that leads north of town that leads to it.
Is it closer to the Blessed Flagon than like the part of town where Jasoo was? Or am I going to have to go through town to get to?
If you want to follow the roads, you'd have to go back into town, and then.
Yeah, I'll follow the roads. Head back in that direction.
Okay.
I'm drunk with 11 HP and 5. And 5.
Yeah. Two, actually. I just remembered. Well,
Drunk, 11 HP,
I don't know.
just dripping wet.
How long has it been? How long has it been, and how long did that last?
You
I
know.
don't
got
remember
3
how long
hours
it
ago.
lasted, but it was. It hasn't been that long, so.
Oh.
Crazy.
So it was just the card that Jin still left, right? That was the only thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'll just hobble back to the Blessed Flagon.
Okay.
Hope not
And
to get like profiled or something.
Ralph would be like looking for people, but he's drunk, right? So she'd probably be like looking in like small nooks where they couldn't possibly fit, and be like, "We're not here either." Like,
Because you have no constitution.
well,
Drunk for 7 days.
I have a 3 in Constitution, so I don't know how that helps, but
Yeah, Mouse might be a little bit more of a lightweight than most in the party because of low constitution. But Bronwyn, I believe Bronwyn is actually a little drunk as well, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that. But Bronwyn kind of comes over to Mouse, who is looking in places that they couldn't possibly be. And Bronwyn comes over and like puts an arm around your shoulder. As, come along, dear Will. I'm sure we'll find them. Probably not in here.
Are you in this barrel?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Did you end up in this mouse hole?
I can't see you if you are.
Where are my friends? They left me. Except for Zafine, and I love her.
I love you guys.
And Semaeus is like, hey!
You guys are great.
So the skeleton that died, it was just a skeleton, right?
Yeah, it was pretty much a mummified body that was
No,
just
like
kind
evil
of popped.
scroll or
So
no, like evil
Is there
scroll
like
next
any
to it or
weird,
anything.
like
Okay.
like anything that he has on him? And Mouse might be like, ooh, like,
Ooh, shiny!
there's not much left at all. There's like it just kind of blew up with the force of the magical explosion that happened. So there's not really much
We
left.
broke it.
What else?
Oh.
There's just you over there poking it with a stick again.
Never again.
What does this do? No,
Okay,
don't.
you all
Look, I made a bridge. Like what?
you make your way back to the Blessed Flagon slowly. It's kind of a lot of you are sore and hurt and a little drunk, but you manage to make your way back. And by this time, it is quite late at night. It's coming up on 11:30 midnight. And
We jumped out a window.
Yes.
and once you all kind of gather back in the same place, Bronwyn says, maybe we talk to the abbot about all this in the morning, shall we?
Are we back yet?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I wanna sleep. I just wanna go to sleep. My head kind of hurts.
Jesse just really quietly walks past everyone and goes to where he was sleeping.
Okay. You all make your way to your quarters and fall asleep quickly. And most of you wake up with some semblance of a hangover at the very least, except for Tamati. Tamati's fine.
I'm good. I feel great. I like run out. Hey, everybody! It's a great day.
Ah,
What's that, Red? Are you okay?
maybe not so loud, bud. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tomorrow
Great day.
I'm gonna hit you again just so you kill me. Offline.
Oh man.
And Sorith kind of like comes out holding his head. Ugh, Tamati.
Hey, Soreth!
Ugh, I liked you better before I found out you were a morning person.
Me too.
This is another thing you will have to learn. There are no morning bears. We hibernate.
It's good to know. It's a good point. I'll try and remember that.
Oh, that dog.
Sorry.
How many hit dice do we
Damn it.
after a long rest?
After a long rest, you get half your hit dice back.
Okay.
But you get all of your
All your HP,
HP.
all your fun stuff. Where's my book? Oh, I took my book across the room.
Ruh-roh.
Because I was trying to use it as a visual reference for Ezio's mini.
Nice.
Dang it. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, you are given some very, very delicious food with sausages that they make right here,
Oh, gosh.
fresh baked bread, that sort of thing. And all of it does combine to slightly ease your hangovers, those of you that are hungover.
Nice.
But it is still a process where as you go about eating your breakfast, it takes you half an hour or so before you really feel alive again.
I'm just chowing down.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know why I'm so hungry today. Just
I'm kind of just like poking at my food a little bit. I'm not eating quite as much as I normally do.
Tathael is with us, right?
I was trying to remember that.
Yeah,
is
she
Tathael-
came
She came with it. Well, she didn't. I think she's traveling with us, but she wasn't involved in the adventure at all. So
Yeah, I knew she wasn't involved in the adventure, but I couldn't remember if she had come with you guys or if she had decided to travel with Dogry and the Quarry Brights for a while. I think she did come with you, though.
Yeah, I think she came with us.
Doesn't have to do nothing.
Arlo left with them, though.
Eventually, Jesse's going to go and kind of like ask her if she knows anything about the card because it's from God. You know, it's not her God kind of thing.
Yeah.
But just whenever.
Yeah.
We'll do breakfast first.
Yeah.
breakfast first.
Can we say that Tathael got drunk and got her first hangover? Just like not knowing her limits, like, oh, this is a fun play.
This is great.
Yes.
Just like the first like,
Yeah.
just a little.
I feel like she would try and be like, ah, what is this?
Tathael is a little hungover as well. She didn't come with you, but she spent her evening in the tavern just kind of drinking and speaking to some of the monks that were there.
Excellent.
And this morning, she comes out a little later than the rest of you. She also comes out clutching her head and squinting her eyes, and she's like, now I understand what all those prayers were about. We heard a lot of this. It makes sense now.
I just go up, give her a big hug.
What's the term that they use in Tyrileth? Like, not humankind, but
Kindred.
I just heard Nicholas say welcome kindred.
Part of me wants to be that really annoying, like, I'm no longer drunk type person. Man, see if you guys didn't drink all the time, this is what would happen. Blah, blah, blah. but I know that I wouldn't really do that because I hate people who do that. Just being way too happy.
Yeah. As you're all speaking amongst yourselves, the abbot enters the room and greets all of you. He you can see that he gauges the room. He can sort of tell that you guys, whether by choice or not, overindulged a bit, and you see a small smile come over his face. and he comes over and he speaks quietly, and comes up and says, "So, how was the operation mission? I don't speak this sort of thing."
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
I spent 2 keys and just cast silence on Tamati.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Tamati makes it through like a couple of syllables, just like, "What's that?" And then like
10 minutes, but it's worth it.
Yeah. completely silent. In fact, the bubble of silence coming off of him is wide enough that the rest of you have to walk a little further away from him to be able to speak to each other.
I'm just gonna stay right here.
Yeah, just hang out in the silence.
I lean closer to Rin, and I'm just. I love this. Okay. That means you guys are gonna have to do all the talking. I'll put my microphone on mute.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so the abbot turns to those of you that are not silenced.
Sorry. No impulsive, but
I understand, my son.
So does this silence follow me?
Yeah, it's centered on you, and it. But yeah, the abbot says, "I understand, my son. We do try to keep within our limits, but there's not one among us that hasn't experienced this at least a few times."
I can't hear anything either, can I?
I don't think you can.
You're ready to this now. You are in a moment silence. You and Rin are completely out of the loop right now.
This is
Like I said,
great.
impulsive, but
Oh, she even turned off her headset.
can I drop
That's
something
awesome.
anytime I want?
What?
Can I drop it anytime I want?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I'll drop it and just be like, okay, please just stop, Tamati.
Ah, what? Oh, sorry.
Anyway, we were able to reach
as you come out from the silence, and there's still
The silence.
a half a scream before you catch yourself. Bronwyn and Sorith both flinch. And, like, you see Sorith sort of just like instinctively, his hand moves towards his sword, and he's like,
I'm sorry, I'll stop.
That's the sign, Tamati. That's the sign.
I've been in that situation many times, and I know exactly what you're going through. And it's so much fun watching you guys go through it, and not me. This is such a turn of events. It's great.
Anyway, we were able
Make
to
up for all those
procure
owlbears.
a good majority of alcohol. Yes. Unfortunately, those rum gremlins drank like 20.
It was about 25.
I am unsurprised. Honestly, I am. If anything, I'm surprised that they didn't drink more of it. We are lucky that so much of it is intact. I'll tell you what. Return
Also-
50 of the bottles. Keep the remainder for yourselves.
Yes.
Wait, what? Wait, say that again.
Return 50 of the bottles. Keep the remainder for yourselves.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's 26 bottles should divide among the lot of you, and it's much more valuable if you take it further away from here, if you choose to sell it. If you prefer to drink it, then just...
Oh, I'ma definitely keep a bottle.
Yeah.
Because, Raven's Night is coming up.
Yeah. Let's see. I believe with you guys and Bronson, Bronson.
Hey, there you go.
Bronwyn and Sorith, there are 8 total that needs to be divided among. So basically 3 bottles for everybody, and then there are a couple of bottles left over.
Wow.
Mouse gets the bottles and puts them out on the counter, and then gives the bottles for
Sorith.
Bronwyn and
Bronwyn.
Sorith.
and hands the beers.
Okay.
Cool.
And the abbot beckons you to follow him and walks out of the tavern area, going upstairs to his office. In addition to that, he pulls a purse from his desk and begins to count out a few smaller purses, and he pushes very fat purses to each of you, a total of 8 purses.
Jeez.
And, as you open up your purse, you see that each one of you, he has given you 1,000 gold pieces.
Holy
At
cats.
this moment, Semes is going to chime in. By the way, we have some other good news. We were able to find the mummified remains of that evil monk, and
Okay.
and his evil presence was dispelled from the extra building.
That is good to hear. I had felt a change. I suspected as such. That is why this this reward is more than we had discussed. In return
So-
for that,
So you'd like to-
I appreciate your help.
Thank you.
And
This is very generous of you.
you know, the risks taken to solve this problem for us and the cleansing of the old brewery, this is honestly less than you deserve. But this is what the monastery can spare at this time.
No, this is plenty for us. Thank you.
And he kind of stops and has just sort of a faint, distant look for a moment, and then sort of a little smile comes up and says, "One more thing, actually." And he goes over to a locked cabinet behind his desk and unlocks it, reaches inside, and pulls out a bottle. You can tell this is Black Dram from the markings, but this is about 3 times the size of a standard bottle.
Whoa.
And
Jeez.
it has a very ornate golden label on it. And he kind of reaches up into the cabinet and picks it up and carries it over to the table, to the desk, sets it down, and kind of pushes it in your direction and begins to write a small handwritten note that he ties to the bottle, and he folds the note once but leaves it unsealed and just ties it to the neck of the bottle and pushes it towards you, and he says, "Take this. You said you were traveling to Gate, yes?
Mm-hmm.
There's a tavern there called Kadrazat's Sanctuary. If you could deliver this to the proprietor with my regards, it would be much appreciated, and perhaps Kadrazat will be able to help you."
Cool.
The blessed Tram sends their regards.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is very generous of you.
Yeah. As he was writing the note, you could see that it began, Kadrazat, a symbol of my gratitude for sending Pomona to us. And then he switched to a script for the rest of the note that none of you recognize.
I can read everything.
Is that how Eyes of the Runekeeper works?
Well, like every
Did you
language.
touch it, or
I can read all languages.
You're probably right. I just don't remember exactly.
Let me see if I
how it
can find
works.
where it is.
Yeah, I can read all
Page.
writing. Okay. Yeah, I found it on your sheet.
Yeah.
So you can read this. You recognize in the faint sense that your Eyes of the Runekeeper gives you a sense of what language it's written in, but it sort of just seems to change to common in your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And you recognize this as Infernal.
Okay.
And the note says, "The Emerald Wing have also done the Blessed Flagon and Foway a great service. Consider this gift to come from them. They are friends to the gods, and they will be friends to you. Perhaps they can help you find relief from that which troubles you." And then he switched back to common to sign, "Sincerely, Abbot Janssen Barley Malt."
Is Infernal the devil or the demon?
Demon.
Devil.
No, devil.
Devil.
Dang it.
Demon is abyssal.
Either
Oh,
way. Devils or demons.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Hey, Shara's back!
Hey, welcome back.
Or she's in chat anyway.
So how many? So there was 3 each for the rams, and then 2 extra.
Yes.
Hello.
3 each and 2 extra.
Okay.
Hello!
Hi there.
Hello.
Unlimited.
Nice.
Yay!
Okay, we
We
haven't
were
gotten
just
further.
getting a very bountiful reward
Mhm.
for our services.
1,000 gold and 3 bottles each.
3 bottles of the black.
3
Yeah.
bottles of the black dram, which is the really expensive
Oh, good stuff.
one, and then 1,000 gold pieces.
Yes, sweet.
1,000
That sounds like a good
pieces
time
each.
to round.
Yeah, each.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
each
I just
good
get
walk
time.
in.
about.
Oh, we're being rewarded. Sure.
Oh, I'll take some of that.
Yes, please.
Right.
And, the abbot has also given you an extra large bottle of black dram, which appears to, from looking at the label, it appears to have been aged even longer than the usual black dram.
Heck
And
yeah.
he has given it to you with a note to be delivered to the proprietor of a tavern in Gate called Kadrazat.
We have something to do in Gate.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. It's going to be great. So I'm going to look at the abbot and say, thank you, I appreciate everything. Just out of curiosity, do you have a symbol of Foway that I can have?
So, yes, actually. And
Awesome.
he goes back into his cabinet that had been
Can
locked.
Can I insight check to Mati
That's right, because
to
nobody
kind of
knows what
gauge
happened.
like why he wants this
We're
symbol?
all in the dark.
Sure.
You don't know. I'm not going to tell
I don't
you.
know.
All you saw me was coming up, and I was bright and cheery this morning and making everybody miserable. It was my favorite thing in the morning. Carrying a small cask of something under my arms.
Right, 15.
15, huh? Have to roll against it?
Yeah.
I mean, are you trying to conceal anything? Or are you just kind of...
Kinda, not really. It's one of those things. It's still very new and fresh, so yeah, I'm gonna conceal it for a while.
It's personal.
Nice to know.
Yeah, so roll deception, I guess, to just sort of...
Oh. Ooh. Deception. 15.
Yeah, you can tell that there's some meaning behind this, but you don't really know. It's
The dude likes alcohol.
also, I forgot to mention, overnight you grew about an inch of beard, Tamati.
What?
Because
That's it.
I'm loving this.
It's the facial hair. It's throwing me off. I can't read him quite as well anymore.
Right?
You're not used to it.
Excellent.
Let the prank war begin.
Don't touch my beard.
He has control of his bear form.
I'm gonna sleep
One
as a
of us
werebear,
could
just so you
die.
know. Touch my beard and something bad might happen.
My wisdom's not very
Whenever
high.
you walk out, Jesse's gonna kind of like go to Tathay and talk to her, but after we do all this.
Yeah. So the abbot goes back into his cabinet, and he shuffles around looking for something, and he pulls out a small charm and looks at the chain that it's attached to. He says, "This we might need to get you a longer chain. It's not exactly designed for Goliath-sized necks, but."
That's
he
fine.
He holds out this symbol to you. It is a small copper six-pointed star, and at the center of it, it has the symbol of a sheaf of some kind of grain.
Cool.
And he says, "This is one of the many symbols of Fo Wei that exist, but this particular one." This particular one has some sentimental value, but I sense that perhaps it might serve you better than I.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
Of course.
I'm gonna lift the big bottle of black jam and look at Mouse and say, "Can you hold open the bag of holding?"
Here you go.
Drop in that plus another barrel that I pull out from underneath my arm and drop it in there as well.
What?
You should ask, you should ask about it, because they might be able to like identify the brew for you.
Identify what?
The type of brew.
Oh,
The Fo Wei brew. Yeah.
cool.
Once the fermentation has begun, you wouldn't want to open the vessel unless you
Oh,
really
okay.
absolutely have to.
Plus, half the fun is the mystery of it. So
Yeah.
it came from a god. You know it's gonna be good.
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah, that's right.
Ooh,
So
wow.
the abbot leaves after bidding you a good day and again repeating his thanks to you. He has business elsewhere in the monastery that he needs to manage some things. And Jasu was going to speak to Tathael, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hey, could I talk to you in private for a bit?
Certainly. What is it? And she'd kind of leads you away to one of the hallways that doesn't have...
I make sure no one's following us.
I want to roll a stealth check.
Okay. So, what's your Christian god again?
Huh?
What was the name of your god again?
Parathon.
Yeah, I keep thinking. Okay.
Did you say Paylor?
Yeah, because
I keep thinking Paylor too.
I know that. Oh, Parathon?
Yes.
I know that Parathon is the god that you serve, but I was wondering if you know the other gods too.
A limited degree, not a great deal.
Just
The gods, even the good gods and those that we have dealings with, had dealings with, contact between the gods is limited. There are reasons that gods wish to keep secrets from one another, even those that ultimately serve true and good causes. They have reason to hold their agendas close, and so our contact was limited. I have had some small experience with the other gods' servants, but little beyond that.
I was wondering if you could take a look at this. I pull out Jinso's Joker.
Okay.
I think it's something from Jinso. I'm not one who's very deep in the religious aspect of life, but I was wondering if we could look at it.
Of course. May I?
Here you go. Hand it to you.
She takes the card and turns it over, examines it, and she says, this is definitely a gift from Jinso. It is...
Oh, good. I didn't know how drunk I was. Okay, cool.
She kind of
Very
grins.
legitimate.
She kind of grins and says, there is very powerful divine magic suffusing this card, and it feels like Jinso's energy in a way that is, as much as I would be able to pinpoint such a thing, each of the gods has something of a signature, and this does feel like Jinso's. I'm afraid I can't tell you what it
I
does.
remember what I called it.
Would I go to like a Jinso temple to figure out what it does, or do I use identify on it, or?
And she says, I've used the magics available to me to try to learn of it. It is beyond my understanding.
Okay. Well, thank you for your help.
An artifact of this nature, I would suspect, would be even other followers of your god may be unable to tell you of its nature, especially given that this is Jinso. He is not prone to giving out too much information to those.
Who was that?
Their fault?
Yeah. But,
It's gonna be your scapegoat.
perhaps
It was their fault.
the knowledge of what this card does will come to you at a moment when you need it, or if you use it before you know, perhaps you'll find out. That sounds like the sort of thing Jinso would do to one of his followers.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I apologize that I can't help more.
Oh, no.
Oh, that dog.
Sorry.
Go
God.
crazy. I'll be back in a
Nice.
second.
Crazy stuff going down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you heard, Shara, that other barrel that I put in. It was like the pot that I was stirring when Foe left. I stayed
Oh,
down
yeah.
there for that whole time that I was gone, and like after it was done, like being prepared, I grabbed a little barrel and dumped the alcohol that he started into there,
Nice.
corked it up, and so starting the fermentation process on that. So
Ba-dum.
yeah, so I'm like and drop this
That's
in too.
awesome.
So yeah, it's not like I'm
the beginning
hiding
of the
anything. It's just, it's a new religion, and I'm not sure, it's what's all going on. So I'm just being very protective
Right.
at the moment. So
Close to the vest.
just so you know. Anyway,
Cool.
but yeah,
I was wondering, I
that's-
was like, I don't remember there being a barrel with
Yeah.
Daniel's thing, but cool.
yeah. So
Oh,
while I was
Rick,
down there, I was like, what?
I'm reckoning just really quick. When he pulls out the barrel, I just say, wow, you've been using the booze.
Yep. Just, yeah. Just smile as I put it in.
I don't have to inside checking. I know something about I had my own.
Something
I had my
that's
own
the
little
problem.
fun event. I had my own little magical mystery tour, so I kind of just like something. Unless I go for it. If not, it's kind of just like something's up. I got my own stuff to deal with. He doesn't look traumatized, so it's probably good.
The magical mystery tour is coming to dance on your grave.
Go away.
That's true. Like
Anyway.
of the 3 dreams we had the other night, that was like mine. It was happy. I'm like pumped and
Yeah.
stoked. You guys are both like,
I'm
Like,
I'm disturbed.
okay.
I'm doing great.
a convict of the apocalypse. Cool.
Right, so
Holy mother of dragons.
you return to the commons area, the tavern sort of section of the monastery where food is served, and as you go and sit down again, Sorith and Bronwyn sit down next to you, and Bronwyn says, "Well, that was that job paid better than I was expecting it to."
Right?
Much better.
I was expecting maybe 100 gold, but
Yeah. Right?
plus black dram.
Plus the black dram. Plus.
And that's the thing. This whole thing was a random encounter. You guys could have missed Bronwyn and Sorith on the road and not done any of this.
Nice.
Wow. That's awesome.
Glad we didn't. Woo.
Side quest.
Yeah.
Side quest.
Sorith says, "So are you headed to Gate then?"
Yeah.
I think that's the plan.
Yep.
Well, we are headed west, so this will be for now where our paths diverge. But it has been a good time. I hope we will see you again.
I hope so.
Me too. I gotta
That'd
come
be
back and
welcome
train
back.
more with you, you know?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Bronwyn, before you do leave, could I get some specific measurements on those chains and maybe some notes about what we should look into?
Of course. And she pulls out a notebook in which she has exactly the figures you're looking for. With all of the-
Excellent. Perfect.
showing
I
her work of
jot
how
them
she
down
arrived at the conclusions that these were the
The man's will
correct
know the
sizes.
stuff.
I think you've done this before.
That will come in handy.
Oh, yes.
She says, if you... Oh, I'm bad at making friends. I haven't done this in a while. If you need help, if you get in trouble, send us a letter or something. We'll find it. We'll show up, maybe? That's what friends do, right? Sorith, take over. I'm bad at this. Sorith just kind
You're
of...
doing great, Bronwyn.
You're sweet. That's a lie. Sorith.
No, it's not. Insight check me, I dare you.
What's this insight check you're talking about?
But Sorith just kind of grins. She gets flustered.
It's alright.
I'm not
We all do.
flustered. I'm antisocial. There's a difference.
Indeed.
That I can understand.
Yes.
Where would we write you said letter
Well, we
if the need arises?
travel a lot, so unless you
We probably will too.
yeah. You do know that the mail system will generally kind of try to track you down if there's a letter for you. Like, people will go to the last known location and ask where you went from there, and they'll just kind of try to follow the trail until they catch up with you. That relies on them even being able to know a name that you've used in that place and connect it to the one that they have. So if you're using false names all
Right.
over the place, it gets a little harder. But yeah, but they do try. Sometimes it's slow because they have to kind of retrace a whole bunch of steps due to outdated information. But yeah, if you send out a letter with a specific name, a description, and a last known location, they will start trying to find their way to you. Sometimes urgent letters get delivered like months late, but it's
Sure, yeah.
We're fighting a dragon. Hope you can come.
Right. You're invited.
He died 3 days ago. Here's your letter.
yeah.
Well, and if
Find
you
a name
might
here.
have need to get in contact with us, I have contacts in Gate at this location. I write it out and hand it to Bronwyn. I keep tabs periodically there, so that if you need us, you might be able to track us down faster through there.
Thank you. I'll keep this in mind. Hopefully, we won't have any needs so urgent that we have to call on you. But and Sorith says,
That's what friends do.
Perhaps-
It's all good.
"Perhaps you will have an urgent need for coffee."
That's right.
And Sorith kind of leans over to a nearby window and checks the sun in the sky and leans back in and says, "I'm afraid we must be on our way."
How long until the next full moon?
It's like the beginning of the
Month.
month, so it's, yeah.
I was gonna say we've only been out here like 2 days since,
Yeah, so-
well, a day since it happened.
yeah.
2 days.
We do
This
need
is
to
a
keep
long
tabs on that,
time
though.
away.
Yeah,
I'm working on that.
They bid you good day, and thank you for everything you've done. Sorith hugs everybody, and Bronwyn kind of like gingerly reaches out and flinches as she shakes a few hands.
As she shakes my hand, I'm just gonna like pull her in for a big bear hug.
And
Not a literal
she
bear.
just kind of
Just kind
yeah, like she just kind of gets like, "Oh, okay, yes, this is good, and everybody loves each other. Let go of me now, please."
And escape.
Instead of shaking her hand, I want to do like the like arm clasp thing.
Yeah, yeah, she accepts that.
Beastmaster.
And yeah, as Tamati pulls her into a hug, Sorith just kind of looks on, and is like, like he's just kind of he knows that Bronwyn doesn't, and it makes him smile.
And that's why I did it.
And instead of trying to shake Bronwyn's hand, I'm just gonna kind of do a wingy flourish, kind of a friendly, respectful thing.
Okay. Yeah, she just sort of bows a little bit in return and gives you sort of a look of gratitude, like, "Thank you. Thank you for not making me do that."
Yep.
I'll just give
Got enough with Tamati.
Yeah, she's
Okay, this is enough physical contact for one day.
Yeah, they bid you farewell and they head off in the west in the general direction of. They said they were headed for Keld Kavar. So,
Mm.
I remembered what I called the tavern, though.
Yeah, I remembered
that.
too. Yeah, so at this point, it is not quite noon yet. You can probably make it into gate by evening if you leave now.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm ready. But I'm still
Let's do it.
really worn out from being drunk. So I'm going to merge with Loki and just ride on Tamati.
Okay.
Did I make like a perception check to see if on the way I see any like poison ingredients, like in nature?
Sure.
Or would that be nature?
That would be nature.
Nope.
Take a nap while I'm sitting on Tamati's like axe, probably.
13.
What was that?
13.
Okay. Yeah, you you don't really see anything along the roads. There are some things that maybe could be used in like really, really weak poisons, but nothing you prefer to use. The sort of thing that you'd maybe, if you got lucky, you might be able to like poison a gnome with one of them on a good day, kind of poison. But anything larger, you wouldn't have much luck with these things. Like you might.
Bad day.
So these roads are pretty frequently traveled. So yeah, you. The rest of your journey is pretty much all uphill. There's a slow rise in the grade. It's not like horribly uphill. It's not like a really steep grade, but the city is at the center of a plateau between the two mountains to either side of it. And so there's just sort of a gradual rise, which is enough to slow your progress a little bit and make it feel like it's harder work. And you leave Morlaix, and you're not more than maybe 20 or 30 minutes out of town before you sort of turn a corner around the geographical forms that allow you to see Gate in the distance. And it's still quite a ways off. But the sight of Gate, even from a distance, is one that is impressive even for those of you who visited the great city before. The mountains on either side of it, known as the East and West Arches. The East Arch stands at a prominence of over 16,000 feet above the relatively flat landscape of the Boundlands. While the West Arch peak towers above at nearly 18,000 feet above the Boundlands.
Wow.
So it's about the taller of the two is about 3.5 miles tall from local ground level. And
I love coming home.
and
I don't like
these two mountains have abrupt near vertical cliff faces that frame the 10-mile wide Great Plateau on which Gate rests. Between them on the far side of the city, you can see the south wall of Gate, which is a great wall of dark gray stone that rises 4,000 feet and connects the two mountains together. There is not a north wall. At one point in Gate's history, there was a plan to build a north wall, but the threats that prompted the building of the south wall were on the southern side. And as such, there is only one major wall around the city. And the closer you get, the more apparent it becomes that you can see where the arches, the mountains, have been partially hollowed out. And those of you who actually know the city even a little bit know that the city actually continues. It's about 10 miles wide between the mountains, and on either side it continues about a further 7.5 miles into the mountains underneath these huge vaulted ceilings of the mountains above.
Cool.
And
Wow.
along the place where the hollows begin on either side, you can see that each mountain has these huge magical prisms mounted to the stone faces that are designed to catch the sunlight and sort of project it down further into the carved out city. But
Cool.
the sections furthest back are always carving their way further in, and with the current setup of those prisms, they're too far back to receive any light, so there is always darkness at the extreme sides of the city. And you can see, even from a distance, buildings of all shapes and sizes carpeting pretty much every available surface. A few of them close to the edge actually are set in against the outer edges of the arches. They seem to almost cling to the sides of the mountains as you approach. And almost from the moment you leave Morlaix, the city seems like it may as well be right there for the sheer scale of it. As you cross over into Gate's official territory, there's a lot of farmland out here that is technically owned by the city-state, and that helps support it, but even as you continue for hours, the massive city still never seems to get that much closer, and it just looks larger and larger and more imposing. And let's see, I have like a really, really rough image to kind of give you an idea of the landscape you're looking at.
Oh yeah.
It's very rough because I just kind of threw it together, but where... Let's see, did it actually? Yeah. So. Oh.
Nice.
So it's
Oh, cool.
cartoony and rough, but it gives you an idea of basically what you're seeing
Wow.
as you approach.
That's intense.
Cool.
Like sleeping bags.
For smiley face, I win.
Dancer, I win. Okay.
From now on, all of the videos are just going to have Chris saying first
First,
on them
first,
and
first.
no other comments.
I should have followed you too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Whatever.
so,
I'm gonna be first. I'm gonna tag my own stuff. First, take that.
yeah. Yeah, by the time you finally arrive at Gate, it is well on into the evening. Even so, the city is still alive with this constant bustle of activity and motion. The streets are still crowded and loud, filled with people of every shape and size and color. It's unusual to see. Saretta is a diverse continent, but it's unusual to see this kind of diversity anywhere but the major cities. As you are walking through the streets, you see signs hanging in many of the windows. Some of them are green and read Kella Midwell for Minister. And less commonly, there are also some purple signs reading Shaylin Avenda for Minister. It is an election year in Gate, and the vote is maybe 5 or 6 days away.
Oh my.
Luckily, politics has never caused any discord or problems,
Never.
especially elections.
Yeah.
As I remember them being
But you make your way further in towards the center of the city. And now that you have arrived in Gate, it is getting pretty late, but what would you like to do?
I want to go see Lillian.
Okay.
That's my first stop.
All right.
Who's Lillian?
She's my contact that I've been writing to. That is that's my home base in Gate is with her.
Hey David, I know I mentioned that like some of Jesse's travels, but so would the Koroihis work a little bit like in different provinces?
Most likely,
Okay.
they were.
Do they have like a safe house here?
It's possible. If they do, you're not sure if it still exists or if it would have been co-opted at some point after.
Later on, I'm
fall
going
of
to
the
try
clan.
and see if there's anything there.
Okay.
But for now, we're kind of just getting here, so.
Yeah.
I'm super uneasy in like the entire city. My travels, avoided Gate like the plague because it's such a big city. So I'm kind of like, somebody's
just-
going a direction. I'm following them.
I'll pat Tamari on the shoulder, like, don't worry, man. We'll go check out some weapons and magic stuff.
Okay.
Just
Plenty of good
cool,
shopping.
it's all good.
No,
Doesn't help when no one tries to punch you.
I'm not worried about that. I can defend myself on that one.
That's what I'm afraid of, you defending yourself.
Please don't go werebear inside the city limits.
I'll try not to.
I was thinking laugh. You're like,
Don't me. I can't.
Let's see. I am trying to find the notes you sent about Lillian because I don't remember totally.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little throwback.
Yeah, I know it's somewhere around. Let's see.
Here, I'll just repaste it. I found it.
Okay.
No problem.
Like, I know it's on one of these somewhere.
Yeah. I just reposted it in the Wolfane.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys kind of have different plans, you might want to, like, it is late, fairly late. You might want to, before you go wandering off to speak to anyone, you might want to
find a place to
establish where you're staying and have like a place that you can meet up again.
Sophie, are there any places that we could stay that we could get a discount knowing you, or?
Yeah, we can stay with Lillian. That's no problem.
And keep in mind that you were given a giant bottle of whiskey to give to the owner of a place to stay as well.
It's true. Kaju's that sanctuary.
We could just see where Lillian lives, and then a couple of us could take that. Or all of us. What works.
Yeah,
Just
it's-
so we know where to go.
She runs an inn, so we'll be able to stay there, no problem.
Is it the Lily Inn?
Oh.
Jeez. Okay.
And on that note, we're ending. Good night.
Seriously. Can't top that one.
I didn't- it wasn't on purpose.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh. Okay.
So Zafine leads you all to Lillian's Inn, and Rin actually recognizes this place, by the way. This is she's not actually, like, she doesn't have her mic on, but just from the other room I just hear, "No way!"
That's awesome.
Yeah, Lillian Roth's inn is called Jinso's Loft, and is once again, you're like, freaking hack! But yeah, you make your way there, and yeah, Rin immediately seems to recognize the place, which she may comment on since
I kind of
think
noticed
I
him
heard her
like,
coming back.
Bryn, have you been here before?
Yes, I stay here every time I come through gate.
Really?
Really? Every time. Since I was about 15.
I don't.
Oh my word. Lillian might know you as well as she knows me.
Oh,
What a crazy hat.
man.
Crazy
Small
rabbit
world, I
happenstance.
guess.
Yeah.
This is fantastic because
Well,
I
especially
wanted to come here anyway.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So as you step inside, you can smell the sense of cooking food, and it's pretty loud and noisy. It's crowded in here. There's a lot of chatter, and you have no idea how many of the guests are locals and how many are just passing through. But it is a busy, active night, and as you look around, Zafine, you don't immediately see Lillian here, but that's not especially surprising. She usually doesn't actually work the front unless things are really, really swamped. But you suspect she's probably here somewhere. And Rin, the whole atmosphere of this is just nostalgic for you. It takes you back to times that you're not sure you'd describe as simpler, but different times.
Well, make yourself comfortable. I'll see if I can find Lillian.
I go right to the bar.
Go
Nowhere to
kinda-
shop.
Okay.
That's all day. I gotta get
Head
something.
kind of towards the back.
Yeah. All right. You don't seem to see a bartender. You're just kind of looking around, waiting for someone to take your order. And
Hello. Hello. Goliath on edge.
From behind the bar, directly in front of you, you hear a voice. It's like, yes, I'm right here. What do you want?
What the? I lean over. Oh, hi.
You see someone who is short even for a gnome. This little guy with dark hair, and he is down there polishing glasses, and his head is like about that far below the bar.
I'm like, I need something really strong in a shot glass right now.
He kind of arches an eyebrow and gives you a look. And he's like, I see how it is. Country boy.
Yeah.
Not relative to his
Yeah.
He says, I've got just the thing. And you see him he turns around and opens a little cabinet full of many colorful and interesting looking bottles of liquor. And he pulls one out, sets it on the bar above him, pulls out another, sets it on the bar above him, pulls out another, sets it on the bar above him. And once he has about 6 bottles, he takes a big glass, which is a double for anyone else, and he's like, that's about a shot for your kind, right?
Yeah. I'll take it.
And
I'm just so focused on what he's doing. I'm just so excited.
Yeah, he takes all 6 of these different spirits that are in there, and he pours them carefully down the side of the glass so that they actually layer on top of one another in this Like you can see them stacking up in different colors and shades, and then he reaches into a small cabinet over to his right that as he opens it up you see some fog come out. It looks like it's probably magically chilled.
Cool.
And he pulls out a very large, perfectly spherical ice cube, and he brings over the glass, sets it down carefully, and hands you the ice cube, and he says, "I'll let you drop it in. That's when it does the magic."
Oh.
I was just like, okay. Just drop it in.
And as
Check.
as you drop this ball of ice into the glass, it breaks the different layers, and they sort of start to swirl together into this almost metallic-looking, glittering beverage that actually shines with some kind of faint magical light. It's just dim enough in here that you can see these little like sparks of magic coming off of it. And there's a little puff of some kind of steam or vapor that comes off of it, and it just kind of rises up in the shape of this tiny red dragon with wings spread wide.
Dude.
And before it dissipates into the air.
Wow. That is awesome. And then I shot it.
Okay. Yeah, you take the whole thing. All right, make a Constitution saving throw.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. What have you done?
Me, take it.
Well, I rolled a 17 plus my 7, so I'm doing great. 24.
So that's a 24?
Yep.
You fail.
Holy crap!
Like, it is
revenge.
like it is barely down your throat. It surprisingly, for as much hard liquor as is in this, it doesn't burn going down the way you would feel. There's a heat to it. It's just this warmth that seems to spread throughout your body. And you are immediately just hammered. Just like
That's beautiful.
like
I look like,
stone
you guys
cold
gotta try
drunk.
this. Ooh. Ooh. Whoa.
Yeah, he kind of grins as he sees it hit you. He's like, "Never tried a Red Dragon special, have you?"
I was gonna ask how to the best to drink this,
Do
but,
I know this? You said it was a gnome, yeah?
Yeah.
Do I know the gnome?
No, you don't. He's it's been a few years since you were here last, I would say, and he's probably a more recent hire.
Okay. Oh, it's been a long time since I had one of those. I'll take one.
It's kind of
Good luck.
But I just sip it. I just sip it a little bit at a time.
he mixes up another one for you. There's the same little burst of magic in the shape of a red dragon flying up.
He's
from
a
the
pretty
top of it.
dragon.
And he hands it over to you, and taking a sip of it, it does affect you immediately, but not so much that you have to make any saves.
Look at Ring, you guys all at once. All at
I've
once.
done that before, my friend. I've done that
Whoa.
before.
That's
Last
good.
time
stuff.
I did that, I had fire spewing out of my mouth.
Really?
Yeah, like this. I use prestidigitation to make it look like I'm breathing fire.
Whoa!
And the little gnome kind of looks at you, and he's just like, "You know that does happen. You don't have to lie about it." It's just like, from time to time, he's like, "This, it's like it has odd effects."
Oh, I'm not lying. I'm just
Oh my gosh.
showing what it was like.
I would be so happy.
What's that?
If they had to do a wild magic roll, I would be so happy.
It just so happens.
No.
That, as it kind of settles in, you feel this energy within you, and I need you to roll a D100.
Oh man.
I don't have one of those. Let me find one on Roll20 here.
Use your percentile die.
Oh, I can do that.
Your 2d10s.
Both of them? I can do that.
Yeah. 98.
It does. You don't have to do one, Rin, right now because you're drinking it
Oh.
slowly. But
Okay. Well, I got a 98 when I need it.
yeah.
35.
Okay, let's see here.
You'll have magic.
Yeah,
We all explode.
yeah. You
Transform into warrior bear. Wreck the place.
yeah, you.
Oh, jeez.
You are suddenly that you feel this kind of like shiver go all through your body, and to the rest of you, he looks like he's about probably. Let me roll to find out the exact number here. 7 years younger.
Oh yeah!
And
Oh, great! Is this permanent?
and the gnome looks at you and says, "Not usually, no. Usually that'll wear off, but sometimes it does. Sometimes it does stick. Hard to tell."
That'd be really cool.
How old does that make you look, Daniel?
20.
Yeah.
Great! I feel fantastic.
My keyboard
I wanna go
just
climb a
takes
tree.
this moment to turn itself off.
Oh.
Punch a tree, climb a tree.
Come back, keyboard.
Punch a tree. It's fun, but you're leaving Mark way too much. Climbing trees better. It's physical exercise. Cardio. Good cardio. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna walk out and find the closest tree.
I'm gonna just let him go this time.
Yeah, Tamati walks out and starts climbing the nearest tree.
Or at least what I think is a tree.
The nearest tree is actually a bush that is shorter than he is.
Just like flop onto it. Poof.
Yeah, Tamati is just sort of like shimmying his way along one of the hedges outside. And while he's gone, the gnome turns to you and he says, "The thing about that, when it turns him younger like that, it actually nice thing about that is that you also get your younger self's proclivity for alcohol, and therefore you get that regeneration. Like he won't have a hangover. He'll be fine." Like,
Yeah.
Nice.
I come back in just covered in leaves. Whoa. That was awesome. You're gonna have to teach me how to make that.
Anyway, Zafine, you go into the back and you look around, and you check into Lillian's office, and as you kind of just peek your head around the corner, you see her sitting at her desk. She's an older woman. She has gray hair that is kind of drawn back into a series of 3 buns along the back of her head. And she is wearing a pair of sort of no-nonsense spectacles that are, the frames just don't go along the top, but they just trace the bottom of the glass. And as she sees motion in the doorway, without looking up from the books that she is currently writing in, she says, "I told you I don't want any disturbances. I'm very busy."
What busies you today, Lillian?
And on hearing your voice, she drops her pen and looks up, and she says, "Zafine, oh, how good to see you. I've been wondering when you would pop back this way."
I trust my letters made it to you safely.
They did. I don't have a great deal of information to offer you, but I have received word that from some of my contacts that a Habanshid traveling with a blue woman have been spotted in West Arwai, in Ivlisk, I believe. They apparently arrived in a cloud that fell out of the sky, startled the locals, and sort of became minor local celebrities overnight.
Sounds familiar.
So, if you're looking for them, that's probably where they are. I don't know many others that would make quite that sort of entrance.
Nope. Pretty unique kind of an entrance.
Although, from what I know of your parents, it may be a bit of a crapshoot whether they are actually there when you arrive, if you seek them out.
Yeah, they don't stay put long. But it's a start. Thank you.
Of course, dear.
Anything else interesting in the words of Gate lately since I've been away?
Oh, you know, it's been busy and complicated. It's Gate for you.
Complicated. Yeah.
I don't know if it's been any more complicated than usual. But, you know, with the election coming up, that, of course,
Yes.
makes things exciting for a while.
Lots of energy going into that, I'm sure. Very evident on the way in.
So it's been some time. Some of your letters indicated that you may be considering a shift in direction, shall we say. What brought that on?
Yes, that would be a good way to say it. Things have been, I think, complicated might be a good way to phrase it in this last trip as well. Definitely a shift, unexpectedly, and I believe it's important, but definitely a shift.
I'm sorry, dear. I'm going to have to ask you to be a little bit more vague, if that's possible.
Well, you know, running into a band of people being chased who had just gotten away from a purple worm and then falling into taking out of power several local authorities and a king, and then basically needing to make sure they stay together and see through whatever the course is for this group I've fallen in with.
That
You know,
is
any given Tuesday.
complicated. I turn my back for 5 minutes and you become a revolutionary and sign up for some sort of crusade.
Yes, I've also, yeah, revolutionary is a good word for some of the things I've come in contact with too. Did you know that? Have you heard that the new Emperor of the Hobgoblins is wanting to actually become a participant in culture and civilization rather than destroying it?
In Kindred.
In Kindred, yes.
Are you telling me you had something to do with that? It's been in all of the papers. Apparently it's making quite a stir. Most people don't seem to believe it. Most people think that it's some sort of trap, but
a bit of a hard sell, but it is true.
Interesting.
Tarak Gusmer is a leader that the hobgoblins need. He's the only one that could make this sort of a move for their people.
Well, let's hope he's not the only one, because these sorts of changes aren't made on the back of a single ruler. If he's the only one, pardon me, if he's the only one,
Slip right back.
As soon as something happens to him, they'll just fall back into their old ways. Let's hope he actually has the ability to change the structure, to put in some sort of lasting change.
Yes, I do hope so. He is experiencing opposition among certain groups of hobgoblins, but he also has strong support. So it will be interesting to see how it progresses.
Well, sounds like you have had a busy few, however long it's been. Frankly, I've lost track
Yes.
of it.
It's gone by in a blur for me as well.
Isn't Bexlode a backwater? Aren't the only things that live there cows and cats? I wasn't aware.
There's a bit more than that, but it's no gate, but there were good people there. And some rather unsavory types, unfortunately. They've had a bit of a disaster, tragic disaster by some crazy lunatic obsessed with red velvet, but he got his comeuppance, so they won't have to worry about him anymore. A good place. Become quite meaningful with the things we went through there. So
well, I assume you've brought your new friends with you.
yes, they're downstairs, I'm sure, getting all manner of drunk. But that's not a problem. They'll enjoy themselves this evening.
Well, I can offer you a place to stay for the night, but I'm afraid only for the night. No charge as usual for you or your friends, but unfortunately, with the vote on the horizon, we are going to have a great number of people coming through, and we will be full up, as will most locations here. Because Zafine knows for a fact
that's fine.
that, although people from outside Gate are not technically considered full citizens, while they are staying in Gate, they are considered partial citizens, which means that in turn they do get votes, because Gate's economy does impact the world at large, because Gate is such an economic center. Outsiders' votes are weighted less, like each outsider's vote is not given as much weight as locals. If you've lived in Gate for at least a year, then you are considered enough of a citizen that you get a full vote, essentially. But as such, with the elections coming up, things are about to be very hectic for a lot of the inns.
Yeah. Completely understandable. Do you know if any of the other inns about might have a little extra room that we can requisite while we're here?
Perhaps. It's going to be busy everywhere, but there is a chance that one or two of them might have openings. And unfortunately, you have the combination of those that are most likely to have vacancies are also the least likely to be the sort of place that civilized people would want to stay, you understand.
Yes.
But I'm not sure I can promise anything for any of them, but I do know a good number of the other tavern keepers and innkeepers around Gate. You can put in Lillian's word with them, and most of them will respect it at the very least.
Good. We'll find a way. No problem.
And Lillian says, I am curious to learn just what sort of people you abandon one of the more lucrative careers I've ever seen for.
Well, come on down. Have a look for yourself.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Lillian follows you back out and kind of sees the ragtag group of strange people that you're traveling with.
At this point, I have my ukulele out, and I'm singing up a storm with my ukulele.
Make a performance check.
Yes.
Can I join him?
With disadvantage because you are drunk off your mind.
Ah, yeah.
Can I-
Oh, great.
Can I join him?
Sure.
Performance check, right? 92? What? Oh, 6. I rolled a 16 and a 5. I was like, yeah.
I'm gonna borrow your other guitar and I'm gonna join you.
So ukulele.
Or yeah, that's what I meant.
Tamati is holding about 1/3 of a tune.
Yeah.
Like he keeps going off, and occasionally like just voice cracking wildly.
Woo!
Just like at one point he
I
he
got a
goes to-
10.
Okay, yeah, you do a little better, but apparently by this time you've had a little more of your Red Dragon special, and it's kind of starting to hit you. And in fact, roll a d100.
I already did 98.
That's right, you did.
Boom, boom.
Let's see. So now let's see. The 98 on this chart is lame, and I don't want to use it. That's not interesting. That's boring. That's no fun. I'm gonna find another chart. No, seriously, it's
Roll it
not
again.
fun.
Roll it again.
Say 98 or
I
89.
just want to know what it was.
It's like the the person being affected suffers a head cold for 24 hours. Like that's not
Oh,
interesting.
lame. That's not fun at all.
You get the sniffles.
That's awesome.
Just like that's
Sniffly drunk.
I have to go to bed, guys.
okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
We won't do anything big without you.
Yeah, no storming the castle.
The whole city is a castle.
Have fun storming the castle.
Take it away.
Think it'll
Take a miracle.
it'll take a miracle. Bye bye.
Let's see, where is another effect table that I can look over?
Do you want me to
What's
just
89?
re-roll it?
No.
Maybe she has dyslexia. What's 89?
Right?
Can I download this? Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see. 98. Okay. You suddenly start to feel very maudlin, like you're kind of feeling like emotional and nostalgic, like emotional and nostalgic being back in this place. And you start to cry and as you are crying, these tears rolling down your cheek are kind of sweet smelling. And as you kind of like wipe at the tear, you realize that you're crying some kind of sweet smelling oil right now.
It doesn't taste very good.
You want to try these drinks?
Probably.
I wave over to Jasu. You might want that. I don't know what it is, but you might want it.
Like a couple of silver.
I just miss him so much.
And you're not doing a great deal better than Tamati as you play along. The two of you are beginning to drive away customers, and
Okay, I'll put it away.
Lillian kind of gives you a slightly annoyed look as she leans into Zafine and says, They had the Red Dragon special, didn't they? They're not usually like this.
Red Dragon special!
Of course. The Red Dragon special is obviously what's going on here. They'll go to anything bright and shiny and alcoholic.
Like, how drunk am I? Do I recognize Lillian?
Yeah, you do. You're not as drunk as Tamati because you didn't like pound it or anything. You're just kind of like you feel it. You are drunk, but you are not like Tamati is like slurring and stumbling. And,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Suck, man. I'm 7 years younger. Don't blood on my alcohol, officer.
I promise to drunk I'm not God.
Yeah.
It's all good. What's happening?
I kind of like wobble over to where Zafina and Lillian are, and I go, "Hi, Lillian. How are you?"
And she kind of seems to take a second look at you and squints and then recognizes you, and her eyebrows raise a little bit, and she says, Ilarine,
Hi.
how did you get mixed up in all this? Do I want to know the answer to that question? Don't bother. Never mind.
It's been so long. And I give her a hug.
She hugs you, kind of like pats the top of your head. It's just like, that's all right, dear. And kind of leans down to the gnome and says, Alston, please bring her several glasses of water.
Yeah.
You're so nice to me. Has Jamie been in here lately?
No, dear, I haven't seen Jamie in as long as, well, maybe almost as long as you have.
Okay. And I just cry.
And once again, in Jamie's voice, Loki says, it's all right.
What do you know? You're a bird.
We got our first shirt. We got our first shirt.
Love it.
What do you know? You're a bird.
I am drunk.
Episode
Yeah.
title!
How late is it?
Pretty late.
I'm writing that one down. That's good.
While this is going on, can Jesse kind of like sneak away in the commode?
Sure.
Oh, that was hilarious. I'm so proud of myself.
You know, you're a bird.
Episode title. It'll be called "What Do You
Oh,
Know You're
it's
a Bird?"
done. It's already there, man.
Yes.
I'm gonna
can
have
pass that up.
mascara running down my face by the end of this episode. I am
Seven.
legitimately crying over here.
It's all good. Just drunk. So
Awesome.
I'm not just drunk this time though. I'm like Red Dragon special drunk.
not as bad as me.
So Jasu kind of sneaks off.
Yeah. And then he's just gonna kind of like look around the town, like to where the old safe house was, kind of thing, and see, like, you know,
Okay.
as nonchalantly as he can, kind of thing.
Yeah. Make an investigation check, but with advantage, because this is this has to do with the Kuroihi clan, and that's something that you're intimately familiar with. You know their symbols, you know their marks.
Ooh.
Nice.
19,
You got a good one. There you
Nice.
and I only have a +2 investigation, so.
Nice.
So you kind of make your way off. You follow the trail that you pick up. It's kind of like how there is Thieves' Cant. The Kuroihis also have similar markings that are unique to you. They're and not just the Kuroihis, they're kind of shared among all practitioners of the Way of Shadow.
Ooh, cool.
But each one draws them in a slightly different
Shadow
way. Yeah.
Shadow Cat.
But yeah, you recognize that these symbols are distinctly Kuroihi. The Kuroihi clan must have had a presence in Gate at one point. They lead you on, kind of winding through the streets, not ever in quite a straight shot, sometimes doubling back on themselves and turning just to sort of throw off people who wouldn't be the people they actually want arriving at their safe houses. And you pass through, starting from the center of the city, you move about probably 2.5 miles west, and there's a marker that indicates that there is still some way yet to the safe house. And if you want to continue following the trail, you can, or you can wait for another day, with it being 10:30 or so in the evening.
Since it's kind of late, I kind of think I'd kind of like
Yeah.
help me not to like draw attention or something. Like, I'm still kind of like paranoid, like, oh, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of mark in your mind the place where you left off so that you know that you can more quickly get there without having to kind of take the circuitous route that led you there. And you make your way back. There definitely is something somewhere in the city, but it's a very large city, and getting there may take more time than you really want to spend on it right now. So.
Like a couple hours, have exhaustion tomorrow, kind of thing.
Huh?
Like take too long, like have exhaustion from not sleeping tomorrow, kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe not quite to that degree, but like it is far enough that weaving your way through the city following the trail could take you. You're not sure, like judging from some of the symbols that tell you the distance, like of how far you have to go. You suspect that whatever it is tucked way back in one of the dark areas that is dark even during the daytime, way underneath one of the mountains, and that would be from the center of the city where you started. You'd probably total maybe 13 or 14 miles of just walking through pure city before you'd arrive there. It's a very large, massive city, and so that'd be a little more than you'd probably want to undertake this late at night.
Okay, cool. I'll head back.
All right.
Take notes where.
Yeah. Yeah, by the time you make it back to Jinso's loft, it is around 11:30 or so.
Then I'll buy one of the silver drinks, Red Dragon drinks.
All right.
You want to ride the ride too?
It's just so great. This just it makes you younger
And
and happy.
Alston, the little gnome bartender, is like, another to ride the red dragon. Always.
Yeah.
Alright, Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, are you just gonna knock it back like Tamati did?
I mean, will I go unconscious or like? Will that-
Probably.
No, it's
Entirely possible.
you wouldn't like.
And
pass
I
out
look
from the
at
first
just
kill.
It's a really high con save.
It's a very high
Yeah.
con save
I-
that will make you very drunk, but it is unlikely to knock you out unless you like fail a couple saves in a row.
It's been a long day. I'm gonna chug it.
Okay.
Chug,
Yeah, I
chug,
still
chug.
I say to Jisu, it doesn't make everyone younger. Just saying.
Totally does. So.
Yeah, you drop
20.
your. Okay, well, that you are very drunk. That's a failure.
Wow! 28 still a failure.
No, it was 20.
28. I was like, what?
20.
Wait, what'd you say, Chris?
20.
Oh, I thought you said 28. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
true, I
are,
don't see
you
how
are
that would-
very.
get 28.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
you're-
that.
Yeah, you're very rapidly very drunk, and roll your D100.
So it's a D10 and a D.
Do
2d10.
One will have the double digits, and then the other one will be a single digit.
Okay.
If you use a set.
16.
Oh,
16.
gee.
Let's see. Okay, that's interesting.
Oh, jeez.
Let me see. I need to actually check something to make sure I narrate this properly, so that I like.
Ooh.
You're gonna breathe fire!
You're dead.
We all did.
Burn the place down!
Fireball.
I'm the Chaos Dragon.
So, let's see where I need more information than this is giving me. I might need
Oh
to
my
check
goodness.
the DMG or something here.
Sweet.
Oh, jeez.
And keep in mind, Jesse tries to usually not get drunk.
Yeah. Do I actually have? Yeah, let's go. Let's see if this tells me what I need to know.
When it takes this long, you know it's not going to be good.
It's
I
gonna be
just-
so great.
It's going to be amazing.
Or it's gonna be epic.
It's going to be all of the above. It's going to be horrible and awesome.
Yeah.
And that's how Jesu became God.
And thus was the end of the Emerald Wing.
Right.
Yeah. All right. As Jisu, like the rest, who's watching him at this moment? Is anyone actually watching him? Okay.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Hey, I have a
Alright,
quick
so-
question. How hard? Russell wanted me to ask, how hard is it to make silver bullets?
Silver bullets, it's a little more expensive to buy the materials, but it's not any harder than regular bullets unless you specifically like try to also make silver rune bullets or something if you try to.
No, just silver bullets.
Yeah, it's just it costs like 5 times as much gold as the regular bullets do.
How much is that?
That's without looking at my notes, I'm not sure.
I should try it.
You're just dodging the situation. I want to know what you do.
Yeah.
What happened?
What?
Yeah.
It's a what? What is it?
Yeah. Well, basically, all of you see as Jisu drops the ice into his glass, you see this little dragon-shaped puff of vapor rising off of it. You see him
right there.
pick it up, kind of like raise it, and knock the whole thing back. And no sooner has he drunken the entire thing than he and the glass just kind of turn into a puff of silvery mist and are gone.
Whoa!
And,
Oh no! More disappearing.
and Jitsu, from your perspective, you see the silvery mist kind of around you. You feel your body shimmer. And all of a sudden, you are surrounded by mist and fog that are just kind of swirling idly. You feel no wind, but you are surrounded by fog and shadows. Not the sort of shadows you're used to, really, more like gray shadows. And now that you look at around you, you're still standing in the same place. You're still standing at the bar. But everything is in shades of gray and silver here. And,
Ooh,
Oh,
the One Ring vision.
like,
you went into the ethereal plane.
you see...
Not again.
You see these kind of shimmering shapes of something all around you of various shapes and sizes. They're unclear and hazy, and they seem faintly kindred shaped in general. Like you kind of see that they're in the same
one
places.
drink to rule them all.
They're kind of in the same places that all of the people in the bar were, so you have to assume that this is how those people appear from the ethereal plane where you have been transported.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa! It made him so young, he disappeared! Whoa!
I size it. Lillian, does that happen very often?
Honestly, we don't get the same effects more than, I don't know, once or twice a year maybe, and we serve quite a few of these drinks. They're very popular. Usually no one gets hurt.
All right, we'll see what happens in the morning.
My hand through the air, like, whoa, God! This is so cool!
I just want my friends back.
What, like, if I poke something, does it, like, stop, or?
Things kind of shimmer when you touch them, and they just kind of give. Like, you can still sense that there is an object there. Like, you reach out and touch the bar, and your hand just sort of pushes through it. And you can still feel that there's a physical object there, but you are able to pass freely through it.
I'm gonna poke Rin a lot.
Yeah.
And now I have a weird feeling in my neck.
Yeah, Rin kind of gets a faint itch. That's about all you get.
I am not touching Tamati.
Yeah, good. Oh.
So I just hang out here for a while. You do anything to the ethereal plane? Like,
As you, you've been here maybe 30 seconds now, and you're beginning to see that what looked like shades of gray and silver at first were actually sort of more like muted colors that have a silvery overlay. You begin to be able to see the colors to an extent, but they blur into each other, and the edges are kind of fuzzy on everything. And it's almost like you're looking through frosted, distorted glass. You can't see as far as you would normally, and it is just it's very strange. But you do notice that you kind of, if you walk around a little bit, you subconsciously actually move up into the air a little bit and realize that here on the ethereal plane, you can just move up and down as you please.
that's cool.
Any direction.
Meanwhile, I'm just drinking the
Really
water that the bartender got for me.
Okay.
And so, is that all you can do in the ethereal plane? Like, just move around?
Pretty much.
Cloudy version of. Do I see any cool objects I can pick up, or?
No, the ethereal plane is one of the planes that is sort of considered what's called an echo plane.
Okay.
The echo planes are reflections that are twisted in some way from the ethereal plane.
Okay.
And
I
the
cast
ethereal
lightning.
plane- Yeah. Like the ethereal plane it's like, especially here, you suspect you're probably more on the borders of the ethereal plane and not like deeper in where the ethereal plane is much stranger. But you're only here for about a minute, and once that minute
I'll try like
ends-
floating around a bit and stuff.
Whee!
All
Up back
right.
in.
Yeah, your
The actual
minute.
plane.
Yeah, your minute ends with you about 6 or 7 feet off the ground, and you promptly fall.
What the? Oh, he's back! Am I older? So while Rin is chugging water, I'm gonna walk up to the bartender and grab like a clear alcohol and swap it out with one of the waters.
Let the prank war begin!
How conscious am I? Like, can I cast a spell, or am I just kind of like?
You don't see this happening. Go back to.
All right, we're gonna have to make some rolls here. Tamati, sleight of hand check to see.
Oh
if
yes,
you can
excellent.
swap
That
those.
disadvantage because he's drunk.
Yes.
Dang it! How dare you?
Do I make a check too?
Yes, you make a perception check, also at disadvantage.
I rolled a
That's okay,
16
I'm good at
and a 13, so for a total of 16. I have +3 in sleight of hand. I didn't know that. I should be using that thing way more often.
Yeah.
I used my awesome new mini metal dice. Yeah.
Oh, nope, that's
Naughty.
bad. 10!
Just saying. I know. Just saying. Prestidigitation, you can change flavor.
Ooh.
Oh, you guys are mean.
Just saying.
I don't have prestidigitation.
I do.
So yeah, you successfully swap out the drink without Rin noticing.
Here you go.
She's still kind of crying those like sweet smelling oily tears on and off.
You're such a good friend, Tamati. Making sure I stay hydrated.
Yeah, it's true.
I just love my friend so much.
Here's drinking it. It'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
If no one's going to catch some tears, by the way.
Rin,
I don't know what it is, but I'm going to catch some of her tears.
What am I rolling?
roll a perception check.
I'm rolling perception?
At
Again?
disadvantage, yes.
Okay.
All the elbows in the side and all the owlbears in the country.
9.
What's that?
Oh my
9.
Okay, so you are drunk enough that you actually fail to notice the difference between water and a clear liquor. That's amazing. That takes some drunk. Like,
Whoa.
I've been waiting a year for this. I'm feeling back at everybody.
We haven't even known each other for a year.
Literally a year.
That's true. Okay, I'll give you that.
yeah, coming up on a year of the game existing.
So weird.
Yeah.
Whew.
A year of the game, and like we're a month and a half in.
Yes, I love it.
Did we really start Tyrileth around a year ago?
That's pretty
Yeah,
Couple
we're
of
like
months off.
a few
It
months
was-
shy of a.
Yeah, it was July that we had our first session.
Wow.
but-
cool. Yeah.
well, I believe it was July that we had our first play session. Technically, we had started like
In
I
June, we
started-
like had character meetups and stuff.
yeah, and I'd been posting like world building stuff, but
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm like, how is does that taste good?
Rin, make a Constitution saving throw after.
Just a regular one?
Yeah.
Okay. Be nice to me, dice.
Not a chance.
Nope. That's an 8. They're getting consistently lower.
That's an 8.
An 8.
Okay. Rin just kind of slumps forward, passed out onto the bar.
Yeah, I just like somebody's leaning. How's that? Was that good? Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna start taking notes on pranks that I can pull on you, Daniel. Let the prank war begin.
This has been a long time in the making.
We are vaxxed and grog now.
Katie, I have a list.
Come prepared.
Also, no more than 30 seconds after Rin passes out, a courier comes into the bar and he looks around and he says, Is there an Alarne Devanara here?
Yeah, right here.
And he comes over and he's like, "Oh, good. This is one of my easier deliveries. I have a letter for Miss." Oh, and he just kind of like sets the letter on your back.
I like tucks it into my hood. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And he just kind of says, "Thanks. Yeah, things. We don't always find them this quick. It's only been a couple of days." So.
Ooh, that's lucky. What does it say?
Do you open it?
I was asking the messenger.
Oh.
So I deliver them. I don't read them.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, appreciate it. Do you know who's it from?
So it's from Ladrina Devanara.
Guys, that's my mom!
I have no idea who that is. Okay, thanks.
That's a weird last name.
Awesome.
Yep.
But the courier leaves the letter behind and leaves the bar.
I read the letter.
No, I snatched it out of his hand. No.
I say there has to be some rolling. I say there has to be some perception and rolling.
It's a contended strength check. Guys, don't rip my letter, please.
Whatever. I have no strength left. I am so drunk.
Yeah, let's see.
I can outdex your drunkenness. Easy.
Probably true.
Down, boy.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
figure out
tuck
what
that
I even
safely
have you
away
roll
for
this.
Rin.
I'm just like, no. I wanna
When
read
she's conscious
it.
We'll find out what it says when Rin decides she'd like to let us know.
She's never gonna let us know. It's from her mom. Come on.
You don't
Well,
know it's
that's-
my mom.
Such a buzzkill. Oh, that's right. I don't know who it's from. She's never gonna tell us.
Somebody
There's
played-
nothing that could kill your buzz right now, Tamati. You're fine.
They have the same name as me, but that's about it.
I would have you roll, but I'm not sure what I'd even have you roll for it. So I'm just gonna say
Oh,
that
my
Zafine is able to snatch it away.
Yeah, like Zafine was saying, her dex skill would far out trump my strength at the moment. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, no.
Way too drunk.
Yeah.
You probably fall on your face trying to grab
I'm gonna-
it back.
While I'm passed out, Loki's just gonna kind of fly up and grab my hood and pull it over my head.
Oh, she's dead.
The warlock is dead. Long live the warlock.
Ding dong, the warlock dead.
Jesse looks at Tamati. Tamati, I think I was the cloud.
Whoa! I thought you just went so young. You just I don't know where
I
you
didn't know. I disappeared again. I didn't have to see Zarafall this time.
went. Whoa! How was that?
I look over to Lillian and ask her if some of her muscle could take Rin up to bed.
Oh, thank
Go
you.
tuck her in.
And she's
Saviors of the world,
course,
ladies and gentlemen. Saviors of the world.
she calls over a couple of big men.
Boundlands, at least.
She calls over a couple of big men that you had kind of taken to just be guests up to this point. They're not wearing uniforms or anything. They're kind of blending in. But she calls over a couple of large men to help out. And, what's that?
I just large. I just pictured.
But yeah, they come over and they carefully pick up Rin and carry her to one of the spare rooms.
Careful, she's dead.
Charleston, don't! My birds scare me.
Hey, David, while this is going on, could Mouse be like working like on resummoning Nips?
Yeah.
Then she horribly let it just disintegrate in acid.
Yeah.
It's
Not acid, alcohol.
Alcohol.
I mean, what was really the difference?
That good stuff.
At that point.
At that point.
Not a lot.
Oh, and David, you mentioned
Yeah.
gold for normal bullets, so it would be 25.
Yes.
Cool. Could he work on that, or would that be something later?
He can work on it, yeah.
I will be back, y'all.
Just like all that's going on, he kind of just rolls his eyes and just like works on that. And I'll do the thing where it's the engineering thing where you use it once a day. I'll apply it to advantage on the crafting. roll.
Okay.
Okay. So after all of that fun, I'm gonna pull Lillian aside, probably back to her office.
Okay.
I want to expand a little bit more on the group's origin.
Okay.
While Sameas is working and Rin is being taken upstairs, I'm gonna like walk over to Sameas, like put my arm around him, like, boom, hey buddy, what's she doing?
Making some ammunition.
What kind?
Just the kind that you shoot and
It's
hits people.
cool. It's special.
Yes, mostly for devils, but you know,
Are you really close to kill me?
I hope never.
Okay.
But with all due respect, you are a raging power monster, and
Isn't
I
it
want-
great?
we never want to kill you.
Did you see what happened to the purple elephant? What color elephant that was?
I think it was pink, honestly.
Pink. Yeah.
Although I do have to say,
I wasn't drunk then.
I do have to say, you killed one and I killed one. Just saying.
Good job. I couldn't see that far.
This actually has nothing to do with Tamati. Russell just for some reason really wants silver bullets.
Yeah.
Didn't say why, but okay. So it was a 15 plus dexterity, right? Because tinkers.
I don't remember. I gave you the information and I have it in my notes somewhere, but I don't know where to go to find it right now. So
And I promptly forgot. Okay.
Sorry if this is taking some time. You guys can keep
You're
talking.
good. Okay. I'm just gonna stand up and go back and sit down where Rin left. I'm like, wait, where's Rin? she disappeared.
Where'd she go?
yeah, it'd be 25 gold in materials, make a tinkering check, and the number of bullets, the number of silver bullets he gets is equal to the result of the check times 2.
Okay, so 23 times 2 is 46. Cool. Sorry, guys. Russell just really wanted that.
Now you get
Nice.
That's a good insurance policy if we have to take Tamati down a little bit.
it. So I brought up the conversation.
Probably. Yeah.
You're trying to kill me.
We can
The
hurt you
worst
badly
idea
without
to have
killing
around.
you. Sorry.
You're fine.
Oh, good.
But as he just says, but Master Tamati, I do very much respect your raw power. It is very impressive.
Thanks. I'm excited.
Here's to never having to use these against you.
I'll drink to that. I grab like the cup closest to me, who I don't even know whose it is. I just chug it, and then pass out right there in the spot.
Yeah, there is as you snatch the nearest tankard to you, there is a human that like starts to protest. He stands up and he looks like, he's puffing his chest out, and he kind of looks up at you and he's just kind of like, that was on me, big fella.
I reach into my pouch and grab a gold piece. I'm like, thanks, and then
And the big men that have helped carry Rin upstairs have come back down by now, and they kind of look at each other and they look down at you and they're like, oh, we might need some help for this one.
Jesse just kind of like, there's like, you can just leave him there.
Oh, no, the difference.
Just don't hit him. He turns into a werebear. he stabbed me once. Here's the scar.
Oh, I love this episode.
The two guys look at each other and they're just like, you want to leave him? I want to leave him. Let's leave him.
I know I'm drunk.
I'm out.
Not
I'm
allowed.
out.
And then they stand there looking down at you for about 15, 20 seconds and like, you want to tell Lillian we're leaving him? I don't want to tell Lillian. Let's take him upstairs. And they,
Lillian or Werebear? That's telling.
yeah. They come over and they kind of grunt and wheeze as they manage to pick you up. And
Sumay's offering help.
Guys are strong.
I'm very sorry. These people are just sometimes. Let me assist.
Sumaeus is just like, terribly sorry about these lowborn that I travel with.
I just want to wake up and read my letter. Yeah.
They don't have the renown of a Dragon Ball.
I want to read your letter too.
And just who's
With
kind of.
Sumaeus-
Oh, sorry. What?
with Sumaeus helping, they are able to drag Tamati's limp form upstairs and just kind of like turn him over into
And
a man.
Jesse just kind of like slowly follows. Kind of
The bed like creaks. They're worried it's gonna break for a second.
Oh, I love this.
Good thing I just got payday.
This is awesome. Yeah, how much was the dragon drink, by the way, so I can take it off?
2 silver.
2 silver.
I was not expecting that low for that kind of a drink.
That was awesome.
I got it.
Muy
I think
bien.
that's the most role playing we've done in a long time.
Yeah.
They get you for the damages afterwards.
Right?
2 silver for the drink, and 100 gold for whatever you
Damage.
break.
Brilliant. Lillian's shrewd.
Yeah. Most of the money they make on the Red Dragon special is actually in just clean up.
Oh, I love it.
Like when you rent a moving truck.
Oh,
All right.
awesome.
But I assume we're all going to go to Ben and tomorrow deliver the.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I mentioned Zerafall. No one batted an eye. I mean, Tamati and I were drunk off our minds. But.
Yeah, I got nothing. That's I'm like, ooh, what was it like? That was all I got.
Yeah. None of them know anything about it. They're just like, okay.
Right.
But yeah, you.
If it was important, you'll tell us about it more tomorrow.
Will I?
Yeah. Zafine spends some time with Lillian explaining the whole situation and everything that has led to all of this. And Lillian is just kind of
Can I
taken aback
role
by
play it?
some of the... Sure, yeah.
I prepared just a little bit of role playing through it.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So now that you've had a look on probably one of their less gossamer displays, but after red dragons, no one's on their best. But even with that, they're important. For as backwater as Bexlode is, it had some deep darkness that we faced together. We saved an angel from being a tortured power source of destruction, from a woman who had lost her mind with grief, wanted to kill the king with Boundlands. After she fell, I had a vision, and I think we all did. My parents were the earth and sky, and there was a force, an entire undoing of everything, of all that is. It was not. And then there were these people that I've come into company with, and they kept it at bay. We did, together. We prevented it. And undoing is trying to take everything away. And somehow, this band is in the tipping point of preserving all that is.
If it was anyone else, I would not believe a word of what you've told me, but I don't believe you've ever spoken a lie to me in the years that we've known one another. And I don't think you had any of the Red Dragon special.
I learned that lesson a long time ago.
That is deeply concerning, and I understand what has led you down this road. I can't say I envy it. It sounds difficult. Things are difficult enough just keeping the books and keeping the place standing and keeping the money coming in to pay the bills, but responsibilities like that are far heavier than anything that any of us have to bear here. There are few I've ever met that I would believe have the strength to handle such things as you, though, Zafine.
These... this group, you should see them in a fight. They're quite impressive. But their energies can be a bit loose and unfocused at times, and they need to be kept together. That's what I plan to do.
I believe you will. Interesting group of people. The big Goliath certainly looks like he can take care of himself. It's very, well, let's just say if I was a few years younger, you don't want to hear this from an old woman like me.
Granted, I am 7 years younger.
I don't even know if I've known you that young, Lillian.
I'm not sure if that's an insult or not, my dear. But even if it is, it's an accurate one, so I'll let it go. Do you feel that you are ready for this, for what this will ask of you?
I don't. There isn't even a clear direction right now. The only directions we have so far that seem to be pointing to these undoing forces are a dragon named Zerafal that's been released and imposed his mark on one of my companions, and this group of people, which presently escapes my memory. What are they called?
Aegis.
The Aegis.
The Aegis.
Thank you. This group, faction, I don't know what they are, but the Aegis have been at the heart of all of these troubles, it seems, so far, and probably only serving this greater undoing. So
Sounds
we're
like
here
that.
to see what we can find.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. Please be careful. Powers like secret societies and such things, they're entrenched in history in a way that is difficult for us, the ordinary people, to conceptualize. They have history and they have resources, and that makes them incredibly dangerous.
Yes, we've
Honestly, I can't
we
say
almost
I can't say I like any of this. I don't want you, I don't want that young girl Rin. I don't want any of your people getting hurt. And it sounds to me like you are on a path that leads straight to hurt one way or another.
Yes, but that's the path, and it has to be walked.
You are stronger than me, Zafine Kreese. It's always been true. I suppose it always will be. Best of luck to you and your Emerald Wing. Be careful.
Every step of the way, as much as we can rein in Tamati to do so.
Don't talk about him and Reigns. Don't. Just don't.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, Zafine. It's been a long time.
Go Cougars.
Oh my gosh.
She reaches into her desk and pulls out a bottle of some kind of clear liquid and pours a little glass and knocks it back. And she says, I'm talking too much, dear. I think perhaps I should call it a night now.
Yes, I think I'll retire as well. She doesn't.
My apologies.
Zafine doesn't want to be around much more of where Lillian's mind is going.
Yeah, Lillian says, my apologies, dear. Good night.
I imagine Zafine walking downstairs. Nobody's there. Like, oh.
Yeah. Everybody's gone to bed or been hauled off to bed.
Oh,
by this
man.
I just kind of shrug and go into some meditative forms before
Okay.
I turn in.
All right. I love D&D so much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was crazy.
Oh, this episode's been so awesome. It's like all RP.
After you spend some time with your forms, a few hours of just meditating and centering yourself and trying not to think too hard about whatever it was that Lillian was talking about with regards to Tamati.
I get it! This is really quiet scream.
Yeah. Yeah, you eventually do turn in for the briefer period of rest that is required for you. Sameas stays up for a while working on casting his silver bullets before he as well becomes inactive for a time. And morning comes to gate, and you can see the sunrise shining in with pale yellow light through the windows in each of your rooms. And you awaken surprisingly refreshed. No one has any sort of hangover or anything like that.
Yeah.
Something to do with the magical nature of the Red Dragon special, perhaps.
All the more enticing. Shrewd Lillian.
I'm gonna grab my symbol of Fouet and go, oh, this is gonna be rough.
And you get a sort of impression in your mind that almost wordlessly you just get this feeling like it's fine. Just like it's not a night or two of enjoyment that is a problem. It's when you hit the 20th or 30th night with no breaks that begin to become the problem.
I look around and go, how'd I get here?
And
Well, I think I heard some of the muscles say they reluctantly took you to bed.
Oh, that's good to know.
Rin kind of wakes
Roll
up.
me next to the fireplace. That would have been fun.
And like as you turn your head, you sort of hear and feel a bit of rustling inside your hood, the rustling of paper.
What is that?
And you pull out the letter and you see the name Ladrina de Venara written on the
I
front of
bolt up
it.
and I just scream.
Were you in your room when you did that?
Yes.
Yeah, the scream reaches through the whole building, and it wakes up Jasu, who is still kind of like, not quite awake.
Like, would I recognize like Rin scream, or is it just a scream?
You just kind of hear a scream, and everything's fuzzy. You come out of a dark dream involving Zerafal, and you're not entirely sure if the scream was in your head or in reality. It's
I'm gonna like running down the hallway, like trying to figure out where the scream went.
Yeah, I'll kind of like just wake up and walk
So,
around.
so this
Yeah,
mental
I pulled up. And,
this voice image of ah!
yeah, pretty
Do
much.
I see like Kamati like run down the hall or something? Or...
Yeah, pretty much everybody sort of converges outside of Rin's doorway.
It's like
I'm just holding the letter,
You okay?
holding it,
Rin,
and I'm like,
Rin, was that you?
I can't even talk. I'm
So I break down
holding
the door.
this letter in
What's
my
going
hand.
on?
I'm staring at it.
I'm gonna look around and go, sorry, poof, open up the door.
We've had the ages.
Yeah, I'm just sitting on my bed,
Yeah,
Indian
all good.
style, just holding this letter and like shaking, like I can't even open it.
It's magic, she's possessed! I should have read that letter last night.
I go over and say, Rin, do you need some time? Or would it be better if we're here for you?
It's Mom.
Oh. Put my arm around
And I open
shoulders.
the letter.
Yay.
You open it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I stick my head out the hallway and go, it's all clear, we're good.
So, yeah, you open up the letter. Yeah,
Sorry.
you break the wax seal. You see that the wax seal has the symbol of the triquetra on it, and you break the wax seal and open the letter. And in very neat, fine script that is kind of narrow on the page, taller than it is wide, kind of densely packed across the page. You see that there are 2 pages as you open it up, and you begin to read. To my dearest Ilarine, words cannot describe the joy it brings me to hear from you. For so many years I feared the worst. There's no need to apologize for your silence. I can't imagine the paths life has led you on. I wish I could tell you Taliesin is well, but in truth, I have no idea where he is. Taliesin took your exile poorly. He fought the council over the matter for weeks, calling them murderers for sending you away alone. His father tried to calm him, but he wouldn't hear it. Gabriel started locking him up to keep him from disrupting the council. 2 months after you were forced out, Taliesin disappeared with one of his father's swords. Gabriel blamed me, claiming I'd been manipulating Taliesin into this, sent me out to find him, saying if I didn't return with Taliesin, not to bother returning at all. I searched for him, and for you, through much of northern Devera for 6 months, perhaps, before I was injured too badly to go on. A traveling priest found me in the woods and carried me back to Vale's Peak. And when I came to, I learned that Gabriel had been found with his throat cut a few weeks earlier. The council suspected he'd done something to anger Lord Xanathus, though I have darker suspicions. Things were quiet after that, until they weren't. I'm not sure how to boil the last 2 years down to be brief enough for a letter. Things have been complicated. The Xanathus family lost control of one of their scandals. Word got around and everything went to the hells from there. Their subjects in Towerbar, which you recognize as the name of one of the nearby cities, organized, demanding Lord Xanathus be held accountable for his abuses. And the Xanathus family responded with shocking force. They brought down a full army on the civilians of Towerbar, burned it halfway to the ground, set up a perimeter to prevent any messengers from reaching Karisend, which you recognize as the name of the capital of Devera. Those who survived abandoned the city and fell back to the villages to regroup. Those of us who could hid them, armed them, helped in any way we could. A raid on Vale's Peak to try to find hiding dissidents ended up wiping out the entire council, but we kept the rebels hidden. The Xanathus family probably could have picked off all the rebels one village at a time, but they made a fatal mistake. A courier from the capital on some meaningless minor state business arrived at their perimeter. They didn't know what to do with him. They couldn't let him speak to any rebels or see what was left of Tower Bar. They captured him instead and threw him in one of Lord Xanathus' dungeons. But his absence evidently raised questions in Karisend when he failed to return on schedule. And soon the Ingaran, which is Elvish for the High King, the ruler of all of Devera, sent spies to look into it, who got in and out without the Xanathus family having any idea they'd even been there. When they took their findings back to the Ingaran, he was furious. He stripped the Xanathus family of all of their titles and lands, and sent forces to seize their holdings and arrest them. Trouble is, we didn't know any of this at the time. The rebels had scraped together just about enough resources for a desperate attack. They marched on the Xanathus estates about 6 months ago, fought their way in, and had Lord Xanathus at sword point when the royals arrived. The royals initially thought the rebels were Xanathus' men, ordered them to stand down. In the confusion, Lord Xanathus tried to escape, but he was soon captured and dragged away in chains. The rebels were questioned at first, but soon commended for their bravery. Things are still unsettled here. Tower Bar is being rebuilt under direct supervision from the Ingaran, but the power vacuum has not been filled. The Ingaran has been doing his best to limit news of this matter from spreading, but no doubt rumors are growing. I doubt he'll be able to keep it hush much longer. Hazirian Xanathus is in one of the Ingaran's prisons in Karisend. I somehow ended up as the leader of the council in Vale's Peak after everything, which is still frankly incomprehensible to me. If you come to Devera, please come visit. You're always welcome here, as are your friends. We have so much to catch up on. And if you find yourself in Gate, look up your Uncle Leomarth. He's been living there for a few years now and would be gratified to know you're safe. I love you, Rin. I've hated myself for letting them exile you for so long. I wish I'd followed you the night it all happened. But I couldn't. In the intervening years, I wish I'd gone searching, but my mission was here and I could not abandon it. Know at least that through all of it, I sent you my love, my prayers, my best wishes, and I hoped that wherever you were safe, warm, surrounded by friends. I hope to see you again. Your loving mother, Ladrina de Venara.
That's a lot to swallow.
I'm sitting on the bed next to her just bawling because she's bawling. I don't know what's wrong.
I give her shoulders a little squeeze.
Wow.
Everything okay?
Yeah, it's just that home is a lot different than when I left it 16 years ago.
A lot of things changed in 16 years. I run over the mirror. Am I older?
Yeah, you are. You're back to your normal age. Yes.
I see him run over.
I was hoping.
Yeah, I can go home.
Woo!
Wow.
It's always a good feeling.
Apparently, my mother.
Sorry,
I don't know if you cut out for everybody, but you cut out for me there.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay.
I heard it was my mother, and then that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Say it now, and then start my sentence, and I'm gonna cut out again.
Right.
Apparently, my mother is head of the council now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's a good way to get welcomed home.
Yeah.
and my father is that who's in the prison?
Yes.
Okay. And my father's in prison.
Whoa.
Ah. I think I like that from what I've understood.
I have to tell Arla. I hurry and run over to
Yeah.
their writing desk in my room.
Yeah.
So I just hurry and scribble like a brief letter that's like, I just found out that Dad's in jail. Isn't that awesome? Basically is what this letter says.
Sweet.
And I get that mailed off.
Okay. Yeah, you are able to run and quickly find a courier who will be able to carry the letter, and hopefully fairly quickly find Arla.
Wow.
One less noble to take down.
Woo! Makes her job that much easier.
So
You see, like,
I don't think our job is specifically taking down nobles.
no, it just seems they come to us.
Yeah, so you've mentioned a couple of times, like, being worried about what Lord Xanathus was planning, and I've kind of mentioned, like, I don't know how much you got, like, you know, like, trying not to spoil anything. We're just like,
Yeah.
things are, yeah.
Yeah, no, he got.
Yeah,
Hey, Alan.
He's paying for his crimes.
yeah.
Ah.
For at least the last 6 months, he has been locked away in a prison in Karisend, the capital city of Devera.
Oh,
Sweet.
yeah. I also found out my best friend
He's
You're
what?
what?
Is what?
he's missing.
Who was the guy who had his throat slit?
My friend's father, who was the head of the council.
Oh,
It's a
jeez.
joke that I won't make. Well, hopefully we can pass by there and, you know, very soon, and you can just chill out for a while.
I would love to see my mother again. I know we need to take the liquor to what's his name? At the sanctuary.
Yeah,
Kajazat.
Kajazat sanctuary. But I have a relative in town to see while we're here.
Cool.
Also,
Yeah, I want to go with Rin.
without getting into too much detail, there's something I need to stop by and check out while we're here. It's pretty far away on the other side of town, about 13 or 14 minutes of town. That can be like the last thing.
Okay.
Well, you're welcome to split up if you wish. This is not the kind of situation where splitting the party is likely to actually be a huge problem, so...
Life-threatening. That's what he wants us to think.
Well, if everybody's, do we all want to go into the wine or the dram together? Or
I'm
is
definitely
that-
headed
I don't
that
think we need to.
direction. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Because
that,
I mean-
Tamati, maybe
I
Mouse.
wanted to. Yeah, I mean, I wanted that, but like, I'm just excited that I can like reconnect and be part of my family again.
Sure.
And so I kind of want to.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do that.
Yeah, keep in mind, Rin, that since you were the only
Totally.
one who was able to read the infernal script on the note, that the note did mention that, like, these people, the
Yes.
Emerald Wing, are, like, you know,
Like they can help you. Yeah.
they can help you and, like, you know, consider this gift to be coming from them.
From them.
So Rin probably would assume that it would be wise for you to deliver that
Yeah.
as a group so that Kadrazad actually knows who you are.
Oh, so he meets all of us.
Yeah.
So here's what I
Okay.
think. Now that I'm in character. So here's what I think. I think we should take the dram first thing this morning. And then once we talk with the owner and drop off the draft and see if there's maybe anything we can help him with, then maybe we split up and do our separate errands. Agreed?
Sounds
Sure.
good to me.
Okay.
All right, so
To the
you're not
Kadrazat
sure-
Sanctuary.
You're not sure exactly where Kadrazat Sanctuary is. Do you just want to?
I want to ask around.
Okay.
I want to ask Lillian.
Okay. So you come back to Lillian's office, and she looks up and smiles at you and says, "Good morning, Zafine. How are you?"
Good morning. Good. Bit roused, a bit starkly, but I think things are going well. We have a delivery to make to a Kadrazad sanctuary. Do you know where that is?
And she smiles and she says, "Everyone knows Kadrazad here."
Almost everyone.
Guess I need to stay in town more often.
She says, "You usually do. You're usually either passing through or staying here. So
Yeah.
yes, everyone knows Kadrazad's place. It's a good place, and he's a good man. Don't be startled by the way he looks."
All right.
Oh.
Is he missing an arm or something?
A little bit more elaborate. It says the big
Yeah.
It's like,
Could
you
you
have
be
my
any more
word."
vague, please?
Oh, burn!
Yeah. She says,
Not that I would know that.
"Well, Kadrazat, I will preface this by saying that Kadrazat is a good man. Better than most I've met. He's a devil."
That's why it's an infernal. Bam.
Uh-huh.
So,
Making a deal with the devil?
he's the sort of devil they call an Aranes. And he doesn't talk much about his history. He doesn't talk much about how he came to leave the Nine Hells, but he certainly has a history in the Nine Hells. And
We built this city.
yeah. He has been operating his sanctuary for a very long time now. He opened it when I was a little girl. I remember
Whoa.
seeing it being built. I remember seeing it when I was a little girl, and he has not aged a day in the meantime. And he is a
Nice.
good man. That is as much as I can tell you, because he plays his origins close to his chest. He does not really speak of where
Sorry,
he
I just had a
comes
massive power bump at my house.
from. Oh no. He is a very good, very, very sad man.
Interesting. Well, it'll be a fascinating visit. It's good. Thanks for the vagary to go in.
If I had more to offer you, I would give it, but Kajazad is a bit of a mystery
Aye.
even to those of us who have been here the longest.
I'm coming back, I promise. I should have
But,
massive power bump knocked everything off. So
Yeah, but she's able to give you directions to Kajazat's sanctuary. It is right in the heart of the city, in a bustling section that is surrounded by. Welcome
There
back.
he is.
Like in a bustling part of the city that is surrounded by business district and marketplace, you find this one quite modest-looking tavern and inn, and over the door is hanging a sign that reads Kajazat's Sanctuary. And as you step through the doors, you can tell that for a morning, the tavern is unusually busy. It is almost as packed as it seems like it should be if you came in at night. And like in all busy taverns, you can hear dozens of conversations going on at once, but by some form of magic that fills the area, the many voices don't combine into a clamor. It's comfortably quiet here. And the man behind the bar looks up, smiles as he sees you all enter. He's a strikingly handsome man. He has mahogany skin, long black hair, a neatly kept short beard. He's wearing a black kimono, and tucked in against his back, you see a pair of large, dark blue feathered wings.
Oh, yeah?
cool.
And he greets all of you, and he says, "Hello, welcome to my sanctuary. Is there anything I can do for you?"
Actually, yes. We are here. Abbott Barley Malt
Yep.
sent us bearing gifts. And I gesture to Tamati to get it out of the bag of holding because it's so big.
He looks like he's trying to place something. Abbott barley malt.
I pull out the big bottle of Black Dram.
And he sees it, and
From the blessed.
his eyes widen, and he kind of involuntarily grins, and he says, "Oh, now this is something."
Yeah.
And he pulls the note. He pulls the note from the neck of the bottle, and he reads over it, his eyes darting back and forth over the words. He kind of glances up and looks over all of you, and
I'm sorry, friend. Let me introduce us. We are the Emerald Wing.
so the note says, "It's good to meet you. My name
Good
is
to meet you.
Kajazat. This is my sanctuary. And according to this note, this gift comes from you, from all of you, and also from a man whose life I evidently changed without quite realizing it."
Interesting.
This is a truly kingly gift, my friends. If this is to be considered to come from you, then I owe you a debt. Whenever you are in gate, if you are passing through, if you are here for any length of time, there will always be a place for you here. No charge. Room and board, my finest accommodations. Whatever I can offer will be yours, whether that be room and board or information. A man in my line of work hears things.
Have you heard about the red dragon special?
We do mix the Red Dragon special here from time to time.
It made me reverse age 7 years. So cool.
That can happen.
It's cool stuff.
Other things can also happen.
Yeah, he disappeared. I pointed at you.
I was on material. I thought I was a clown.
I've been told my Red Dragon special is the best in the city.
Ooh.
And that which is the best in this city is the best in all cities, you understand.
Oh, naturally.
And he takes the glass that he was wiping out with a clean rag and he kind of sets it behind him. So, I know your name collectively. I don't know your names individually.
Well, my name is Ilarene. These are my friends Tamati, Jisu, Mouse, Sameus, and Zafine.
A pleasure to meet you all.
So
And he bows. Tathael's not with you now. She's she's back at the.
keep forgetting to.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, he bows so deeply that his forehead almost touches the bar in front of him, and he apparently, as a sign that he is honoring you, he spreads his dark blue wings wide as he bows. And then he leans back up and he smiles at all of you. You get the sense that there is something weighing on his smile, no matter how charming and pleasant he seems to be, that there is always something just behind it that is affecting him in some way. But he brushes it aside so quickly and so naturally that you almost wonder if perhaps you were seeing things until the next time he smiles, and you can just see that hint of tension around the corners of his mouth again.
You know, I'm not a master of languages, but I can read Infernal.
And he kind of grins at you and he says, the abbot is perhaps lacking in information, but he is not wrong. There are things that I would hope to see shifted and altered, things that I would like to see made easier, but that is not the nature of life. Life is not that simple.
No, that's true.
Mhm.
The burdens that we face and the burdens that we shoulder of our own accord are, well, they are perhaps the burdens that we were meant to bear. And when they seem unbearable, that is how we show our strengths. Did you meet Pomona, by the way, while you were at the Blessed Flagon?
Did we meet him?
I think so.
Was that the Goliath lady?
No.
That's
Was that-
80.
Did
Um,
we?
Everybody just make an intelligence check, I guess, to see if you remember the name.
I recognize it.
Yeah.
16
help.
minus.
Oh, nat 20.
Nice.
Ooh,
Minus
I
one.
got
Nice.
10.
15.
18.
All right. So,
Leave it to the diplomat.
yeah.
right? With an intelligence of 0.
Most of you do recognize the name Pomona, and you recognize it because you faintly remember the abbot mentioning that that was the name of the abbess, his wife.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yep.
I see.
I don't think we ever did really meet her, did we?
I think
Just
we.
briefly.
Yeah, we may have briefly
It was like,
spoken
hi.
with her,
That's
met
about
with her. Yeah.
And Kadrazat kind of smiles and he says, if I read this correctly, her name is now Pomona Barley Malt. But that was not the name she went by when I met her. At the time I knew her, her name was Pomona Caskbinder. She was, well, perhaps not my place to air the burdens she bore, but she was one who bore heavy burdens, something I am familiar with. We spoke for hours. She stayed here from dawn until dusk, and when she was finished, I listened along the way. I did not answer except to tell her to go on, to continue. She needed to speak, and I needed to listen, not to respond. But when she was finished speaking, I felt I knew her in a way. I knew something of the pains that she had felt. I told her about a monastery when I had not personally visited, not far to the north in Morley, the Blessed Flag. Told her that perhaps she would find kindred spirits there, those who could assist her in finding the meaning that she lacked. It would appear that my recommendation was successful. This was some years ago. Apparently, the abbot felt he owed me a debt for that, one that I did not realize that I had incurred. This is a gift that I gladly accept. Both the gift of this whiskey that you have brought and the gift of new friends. Are you new to Gates? Are you travelers? Are you...
First time.
I've been through a time or two.
This is it.
It's my home when I'm not about traveling.
This is a good city. One of my favorite homes. And about this time, it's still fairly early in the morning, but through the door you see coming a dwarf with red hair. He's unarmored, wearing lots of green, and he walks in and he pulls up a place at the bar, and he just kind of like shoves his hands down, sets his hands down, shoves anything like a couple of plates and a couple of glasses out of the way. Just like, just lays
This whole
his head
time I'm
down.
sitting here going, Kadrazat sounds so familiar. Why does it sound so familiar? And now I know why.
Yeah. And Kadrazat turns and looks at the newcomer and with a little bit of a smile and says, Garen.
Yeah!
My apologies. To inform
you.
Commander.
Oh! I've gone up in the world. Woohoo! Oh.
Long night, was it?
Oh, is that just
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
you lose you, Shar, or you just muted your microphone?
No, I'm snacking, so I didn't want to chew
Okay.
over the line.
I took that to mean
I'm
like
good.
I'm off Discord again, and so okay. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
No. It was just like, whoa, Garen!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Ah.
He's my one-shotter.
Woo!
The
Awesome.
Commander Garen apparently slowly lifts his head and says, "Oh, you don't know the half of it. The longest sort of night, honestly." Kadrazat nods and says, "What sort of trouble was it, or are you allowed to speak of it?" And Garen just like shrugs and says, "I'm the commander. I can do whatever I want. I can speak of anything. I could speak of little fairies dancing on the head of a pin, and it might be nonsense, but I could speak of it and no one would question me. It's the nature of the job now. But it was a long night." Have you heard the name Oswald Kulis? Kadrazat like rolls his eyes as he thinks. Not familiar. Garen.
Have we heard that name? That name sounds familiar.
You have not heard the name until now, no.
Dang it. Who's the one thief that did the... Never mind. I'll find it later.
The thief that did the what?
Yeah, don't... Just keep going. Sorry.
Oswald Kulis is a slave trader. He's on the black market. He's wanted throughout Soretta. He's particularly known for kidnapping prostitutes and children wherever he can find them. He turned up in Gate last night. I was present to be part of the chase. We caught sight of him. We tried to stay back far enough that he wouldn't notice us. Must have had some people watching or something, because before we knew it, he seemed to be mid-negotiation with someone when he bolted out of nowhere. And we took chase. Took him, I don't know, a couple of miles outside the city, slightly to the south, through the south gate. Into a few miles outside the borders of Hadlin, I expect. And he wandered into some mine, some old abandoned mine, and disappeared. We went in after him. Couldn't find him. It's not even a maze in there until you get deeper in it. Pretty straightforward. The only thing that's in there is a shaft. Everything else is collapsed or been dynamited shut long ago. But we couldn't find him, so he's down the shaft. Which, I admit, at least seems to confirm one of my suspicions. The victims he claims disappear. No one can find buyers for them anywhere. We've coordinated with city watches from cities in Hadlin, in Devera, Cheyenne-Alai, and Fenvale, particularly in Hydval in Fenvale. Seems like that's one of his centers of operation, but the people that he takes don't come back, and no one can find buyers for them. No one can see any evidence that they even exist anymore. I have a sneaking suspicion he's selling to the Drow.
Am I in my drow form? Yeah, I'm in my drow form. I just kind of like, shock and anger look over.
Let's see if Garen notices you here. Natural 20. He notices that look.
Of course he would. He's Garen. He's fantastic.
And Garen kind of meets your eyes as you look over, and he just kind of looks you up and down, quickly reads you, and he says, "No offense, friend. You're not the sort that he would be selling to."
No offense taken. Sorry, I was just born a drow slave.
I wondered. You look to be half and half, perhaps. We don't see many of your kind on the surface, but the ones we do usually aren't friends to the drow. Which, from the stories I've heard, is sensible. Can't say I've been down there to meet any of them myself. I don't know. He disappears into a mine shaft, selling to the drow or someone underground. Seems like it's the only thing that makes sense.
I look at him and go, you look really familiar.
Yeah, he kind of looks you up and down and he's like, I get the same sense about you. Not sure why that is. I don't know many Goliaths.
I know tons of dwarves. So
Just a couple of men on the force.
interesting.
Just one
Now,
of
you
those
said you
phrases, I suppose.
Right there.
just got that face, right? Yeah. Now, you said your name was Garen?
Garen Shieldright.
Garen Shieldright.
Ba, ba, ba. Sorry.
We got a friend who knows a Garen. He actually just returned. We were in Bexlode for a while.
Oh, don't tell me you're friends of Mad Marchmain.
Oh yeah, I trained under him for a little while we were there.
Trained under him as well. I've known him for years. He's probably my oldest friend.
Awesome.
He reaches out to shake your hand.
Look him up the ground a
That
little.
weird feeling.
So meta.
Love it. Yeah, he unfortunately returned to unfortunate circumstances. Crazy things went down, and he lost his gym over there. So
That's terrible.
yeah,
We're lending him a mansion.
yeah. So in the process of us being there, we somehow overthrew the government. Well, not somehow. It was very well thought out and planned.
Kind of deliberate.
Too much detail, sometimes too much detail.
Yeah. Anyway, through a series of events, the government was overthrown, and so the mansion that they lived in was untouched. So he's one of the last noblemen in the area, and as well as just an amazing man. So we put him in charge, and so he
Marchmain's good people.
is.
Marchmain is very good people.
A mansion, though.
Yeah.
He must be incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, at least build a gym.
Yeah. Yeah, he was very hesitant when we proposed it to him, but
Well, welcome to Gate.
thank you.
Any friend of Mad Marchmain is a friend of mine.
Excellent. Yeah, likewise. I noticed you said you were having some troubles with I just catching, just try not to eavesdrop too much, but you just look so familiar. Talking about slave trading?
Coolest, yeah.
Cool.
Not sure where he's gotten to, but have my suspicions that he may have fled to the Underdark. We don't have the authority to pursue him down there, and well, maybe he'll pop up again. It's not the only trouble we had last night.
Man.
What else was there?
Busy night. I wasn't around for this arrest, but one of my men arrested a Frederick Gaultier, which Mouse's ears immediately kind of prick up as she hears this name, because this is the name of someone she knows very well.
Ooh.
I'll be fun when she hears the recording.
Suspicion of plotting to murder Shaylin Avenda, one of the candidates for minister.
Ooh. Pardon me.
I admit he's an unpopular man. He's the candidate for the Peculiars, and the Peculiars aren't terribly popular at the best of times. The framers and the Peculiars, you're not locals. The framers and the Peculiars are the primary
Political parties
that operate here. Peculiars are not terribly popular at the best of times, but Avenda's less liked than usual. I wasn't present for the arrest. I was present for questioning afterwards. Boys just not talking. Sat there staring at us. Wouldn't give us any information, wouldn't so much as admit that he was who our records said he was. Wouldn't admit to anything. I don't think he spoke a word after we brought him into the office. And that's a high-profile case. Avenda, as much as I'm not fond of the man, he's a major political figure. Anyway, as much as I would like to continue, we should probably stop now. It's after midnight.
I wanted to go see my uncle.
Yeah. And unfortunately, especially with Mom and Darren traveling in the morning, I need to make sure I'm not making noise and bothering them. So
It's probably a good
close
idea.
up.
Yeah, good things to look forward to for next time.
Yeah.
Finish this
Got
conversation.
lots of hooks into our feelers.
Wow.
Weekend
That's
A little
day.
bit of everyone.
Here.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
That's
Weekend
not even all the
game.
hooks you can find. Like,
Oh,
coming to Gate
I
is
would
like-
love a weekend game. I'm going to be really tired, though.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm
God, you're sad.
send Craig away.
Goodbye, Craig.
Bye, Craig.